to IG8Live and round 4 of 15 for the Singapore Grand Prix. So should be quite an enjoyable session. We got 17 drivers checked in here and are in the pits right now. Everyone's gonna start to get out in just a bit, just to get out on their out laps. So we're doing as usual for the Thursday night race club. It's gonna be a 18-minute qualifying session, and then we get straight into our 100% race session here. So it should be quite an interesting session being at Singapore. On the we have tracks here a few steps. Definitely we're gonna get our map and telemetry data, no, not telemetry, lab data on, so at least we can have a look of what exactly is happening there. I think Rabsy is already getting out on track here, so we're following with him at the moment. And let's just have a look before we do get on to the rest of the session with our grid there. So far we got in the session, we got Smitty, we got Grimmy, I got Exo, we got Bird, I got Lord, Riquaz, Dave, TFF, Mark Hughes, I got Briefing Cow, Rabsy, I got Stern Face, Loves It. Should be a very enjoyable session, guys. So we're gonna see how well these guys perform here in the qualifying session. Remember, just 18 minutes for the session, so they're gonna have to get a move on and get this session over with pretty quickly, and try to make just make a lap as fast as they can, just to avoid things like what just happened with Rabsy here, just hitting the barrier a bit, and he was on the outlap. I'm not sure if he took any damage or he might have taken some damage. And yep, definitely did take some front wing damage off of hitting. So he's gonna see where it goes here. We're following order Marcus right now. He is still on an outlap and going. We haven't had anyone start their hat lap as yet, so we're just waiting for that to get started, and then hopefully in a few minutes time we'll start to see some really good qualifying times hopefully start to come in, because they're gonna want to be as careful as possible as they can here, making their quality times in, because it's just going to be about getting the best possible start here at Singapore. It's a very short run into turn 1 from the starting grid there. Actually not I wouldn't say it's a really long run. I would say you really start here on a track like this, and you know, it's also a night race. Temperatures here are a little bit different than we would expect it to be actually too, even though it's a night, it's actually very hot. So we're just gonna wait until we get to that race start and see what our starting grid is actually gonna look like. Who's gonna be taking pole position on the start, and let's see how our first lap actually goes. First 3 laps actually. I'm not sure if you guys are expecting a safety car or a VSC on this session. You can let me know, but overall, I think it's going to be a pretty great session. Just we might have some minor incidents on the start line following him. This time he is definitely going to be bringing in. Seems to be on a pretty good lap so far as he's going. We're just going to keep on the overhead cam. We'll probably follow someone through on the onboard view, just so you guys have a full view of what the track is like on the driver's end as they get around here. And remember, guys, we are using simulation damage, and car performance is unrealistic for this session here. So it does kind of change things up a bit in terms of how the session does progress through and how difficult it is. So we have not that driver, you know, they do go ahead with all braking assist off, and as well as traction control. So it's always obviously very difficult to drive in this sort of situation. I think we should start to see some lap times in here pretty soon. Quite a few drivers on the hot lap, and there we go. We got Dave currently with a first lap in 139.5, and I got Lord with a 138.5 now. That's a whole second faster than what Dave just did. So already some 13 to get through and have them do some really good times. And we got Mark Hughes with a 138.3, went about 2/10 faster than Lord. Exo now goes 137.3, a whole second faster than what Mark Hughes just did. So these guys are just beating each other and going all the way through, and I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how this plays out going to the end. TFFR here, let's see, he's going to be getting a time in pretty soon. Sternface just went to 139.6. So a few drivers on a few different levels as they're going through on qualifying times, but by the time we get our drive some of their time and race strategy compared to what they'd actually do in qualifying, they might end up having a bad qualifying, but they could very well perform very well in the race. So we'll see how that actually plays out. We're following the TFFLR right now as he's on his fast lap going through, and we're gonna wait for him to come to the end of that. And I think Lord just did a better lap there of 138.524. I think he just went on another lap and did that. So currently we got Dizzle now taking away provisional pole. He went to 137, driver faster here. So times in. So let's see. I'm not sure if anybody else is joining us before the session is coming to a close before qualifying ends. I think someone was supposed to not be in qualifying. They're just going to be in the race, but we'll find out more about that as we go through. And I will probably have a look at previous results from other races and what the driver standings and constructor standings are at. Maybe during the race session when it does get maybe a bit slow between drivers chasing each other around, we'll probably have a look at that at that point in the race. So TFFLR goes 138 so far in. See where Smith now. So currently Smitty goes 127.1, a very impressive time actually, almost into the 126 with Diesel there. And let's see who else is currently, who else am I missing? Oh, Grimmy went 137.9, not too bad of a time actually. We got Briefing Cow and Rabsy here. Let's follow on with Rabsy and see where he's at right now. Oh, and Diesel is out of the session. Unfortunately, but just when we got Rapsy just went past his car there. That is unfortunate for him, and he's going to be stuck with a 136.7. He's not going to be able to make a faster time than that. What happened there, Diesel? That's unfortunate. Take away. See if he can actually remaining here right now. And yes, let's see who else is currently out and running here. So we got Bird on his out lap at the moment. Lord just did a faster lap for himself, 138.5. Puts him in P5 there. Okay, so continue on. So we got Loves a Good Lunch and Board both on hot laps here right now. I'm quite interested to see where these two are going to go on track. So far, this still holds on to provisional pole with his 136.7. Unfortunate for him, DNF this session. Time difference between most of these cars right now. Lord in 5th, 137.6. Grimmy in 6th, 137.9. And Marcus in 7th, 138.3 right now. TFFLR 138.4 and Dave 139.5, Sternface 139.6, Rapsy currently 140, needs to improve upon that time right now. We got Allen as well, just getting out on track to get started his hot lap at the moment there. So we're gonna see how he comes in and what sort of lap time he is about to bring in here as well. It's been probably fortunate for him, but I'm gonna be a bit excited to see if that lap time actually holds up to the end of qualifying and actually keeps him on pole for the start of this race. We'll see how that works out because someone needs to get into the 126 and actually beat that time. And let's see how possible that's going to be right now. And Bird just went up into 7th with a 138.2. Not too bad of a time. We got Requaz and Loves a Good Lunch run. Let's see where Loves a Good Lunch is. And he just goes across the line. Goes P2 now. 137.007. So very close getting in. And really right now. And yeah, this will just clip the wall just a bit and just DNF that entire car for the session. Hopefully his pit crew can get that repaired before we get to the race. Hopefully for him. Imagine if that was the case, he had to actually wait for all of that to happen. But yeah, it's probably something they might add into one of the future games. But we'll see how that works out. So currently we're following with Requaz here, and I know Allen is on a lap as well. I'm not sure how far back at the moment, but we'll keep as we. Alright guys, let me get away from the computer for just a bit so I can have a full view on what's happening here. Alright, so still waiting on Requaz, Glovestar, Mini Smoke. I think someone just made a time and went up where. Let me have a look at that right now. And I have no idea who it is. Yeah, so just about 4 drivers left to make some lap times in here. Allen went back into the pits there, I think. Requaz goes 135, not him, but still puts himself up on the board. Got Glovestar and Smoke. Right now he is in and running away, coming behind him, so we're gonna follow on with Glovestar for the time being and see where he's gonna go when he does get this done. some information from a driver right now that there is going to be maybe some rain at the start of the race, which is a really good news for us to watch. Not so good news for the drivers here, but we'll see how they handle that if that's going to be the case getting onto the start of the race. So I'm really not looking at what is going on the stream end of things right now. I'm just looking at the Discord to see any new information coming in so I can provide you guys with that as we go through. So what did I miss? Okay, Glove Star went 139.9, not the best of time as well. Rabs immediately needs to improve on that 140 gap. Let's have a look now and going lap time in here if he's going to be qualifying and making a good time for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. It's been a little bit of a while since I've actually had a chance to stream a Singapore Grand Prix, so I love streaming the races around this track. It's always a lot of fun under the lights and the tightness of the track, the way it is. It's always a lot of fun to watch guys drive around here. I've driven races around here myself, and it's a lot of fun driving here. So hopefully the drivers enjoy this race as much as I'm going to enjoy it, and as much as you guys are going to enjoy watching the stream as. Let's know if you guys are making better lap times up at the top there. So this is still holding on to provisional pole with his 136.7. Hasn't fallen down the order as yet. Loves a good done still in second with a 137. And Smitty there just about 1/10 slower, than Loves a good lunge there in third with a 137.1. So I'm seeing some very, very impressive lap times here. Going down the grid, and I think it's going to be a very competitive race when we do get started there. So we're just waiting for Mini Smoke and Alan to make their lap times here. Let's get on board here with Mini Smoke as he finishes. So I don't think if he's going to finish his lap on that, but we'll keep on board with him and see how this works out for him or not. It's so far so good in this session. I gotta say, just under 3 minutes right now though, guys, left in this qualifying session, so getting very, very close to the end, and it's really these guys are starting to run out of times, so they're gonna really need to get a move on getting their final lap times in, and we'll see how that goes. So confirmation from Dizzle, he clipped the wall under the bridge portion, the section of the track where he on P1, so I think that's pretty impressive still what he did, and hopefully he has a really good start of the race to get away pretty well. We'll see how that works out. It's still anything can happen in this session here. We're still waiting for Alan to finish this lap that he's currently on, actually get a lap time in here, as I haven't followed with anyone else in a bit as yet. We'll follow with someone else. I think Lord just keeps making, I don't know why that time keeps coming up. I think it's the same time. He's currently has a 137.1 in P4. I think that time he just stuck at the bottom of this rate P4. Just as we currently have just about a minute and a half left in session, and we got Alan going across the line. Goes P5, 137.2. A pretty impressive time. Gets up in there with the competitive guys, and that's actually so close to what Briefing Cow just did. It's only 0.03 of a second in time difference between the two of them. So just goes to show how fast these guys are and how competitive this race is going to be. And being a 100% race, hopefully everyone gets away pretty well at the start, and take their time and actually try and get overtake done and not rush it and try to do any sort of dive bombs or so. Try to do anything. You're gonna DN next to you fast by doing so. Hopefully, and everyone finish the session. So that's what we're kind of hoping for right now. Let's go on board with Mark Hughes here. I think he's on a hot lap and going, and we're gonna follow on board with him as he goes on through this lap. So far so good for this session. I gotta say, it's been a pretty impressive qualifying session. Even with Dizzle being out, I still gotta say the best lap time he's done there in the session. No one's able to get oh, and there we go. Finally, we have someone beating that time. Loves a good lunge, just went 136.4. Puts Dizzle down into second place now. So that is currently our full start that time. Hopefully they're able to get their hot lap started. We got a few drivers running on hot laps at the moment. We got Grimmy, Dave, Request, Sternface, all these guys down there. They're running on their laps right now and trying to get a better time in, and hopefully try to get a front grid position start. So we're going to see how that works out for them as we go on through. Unfortunately for Disney, he's not able to get a chance to make a better time as he did the end of that session. But yeah, so still holding on to a second place start for him. But we'll see how that works out. I think someone is... That was bored. I think he was stopped on track. Probably let someone by a bit there. I'm not sure. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye and see how the grid changes up as we get to the end of this session here right now. So far, so good. Just one driver not making a lap time as yet. I know Robsy needs to try and make a better time than that, but he's already out of time. Not going to be able to do that. So his surface glove starter can be starting in those positions there. Only Mini Smoke. Actually, I think he's done as well. He hasn't made a lap time. So he's going to have to start there down here in 7th for him. We got it properly right now. Let's get a top 5 for the race start here, because I know a few more drivers are going to be moving up positions. Quite a few drivers have finished already. Bird and TFFLR still running along with EXO here. I think they're just the only 3 drivers left running on track at the moment. And yeah, I think that's going to be about it. And after that, it's going to be the end. So officially, our time is up for qualifying here, guys, and that's EXO going into the pits. He's not going to finish his lap. Board has invalidated his lap, and we got TFFLR going into the pits. So I think that is going to be it here for qualifying, guys. Everyone's just going to race session. A bit just wait for these guys to just exit off here. We're going to go through our starting grid and then get straight into the race session just after. Yep, I think that's about it. So everyone just we're just waiting for either that 1 minute time to calm down, or just for the everyone to just retire. I think Bird and TFFL are the only 2 drivers who need to retire now. All right, so here, great guys. So fastest lap in session, 136.4 with Loves a Good Lunch. Dizzle did a very good lap, 136.7. He's starting in second there. So Loves a Good Lunch starting P1. Alongside him is going to be Dizzle in second. Briefing Cow starting P3. You got Smitty starting fourth. Lord starting fifth. Alan in sixth. Marcus going to start 7. Exo starting in 8. Grimmy starting in 9. Bird starting 10. TFFLR starting 11. Requar starting 12. Dave going to start 13. Sternface going to start 14. Glove Star in 15. Rabsy starting 16. And Mini Smoke there starting in 17 position. So mostly for the grid. So see how our of the Singapore Grand Prix is going to be. So we're going to get to that in just a bit here, guys. Okay, so getting started with our formation lap here right now, and as we can see, it is going to be a very heavy wet start, as we can see, because we have cars on the full wet tires right now. So not just a little rain, it's a lot of rain, and there is a possibility it's going to rain throughout the entire session. We're not sure if it's going to dry up at any point. And this is a 61 lap race, guys. So we can tell what these drivers are in here for right now. They're going to be starting on full wets and going through. We're going to see part of this going to rain up, and if it start to dry up a bit, then I assume we will be going on to the intermediate tires. If the track does get dry enough for that, and yeah, so far it's I don't know how to put this one, guys. This is gonna be a difficult race start for these guys here, especially on the track conditions that we have here right now. Braking is gonna be very difficult, so they're gonna have to be as careful as possible with their braking zones. And it was already a difficult race as it was before. Now with rain, it's just gone to a whole new level. So we're gonna see how well these guys handle wet track terrain I've dealt here at Six, and maybe definitely not 100% race. And I'm not sure if this is gonna go all the way to the end of the race. Let me just get lap data back on, so we'll see what sort of lap times we'll be seeing here as well. I'm not sure how the start of this race is going to go, guys. So our starting grid as it is, once again, we got Loves a Good Lunch starting on P1, Diesel starting in second, and oh my god, that is Loves a Good Lunch into the wall. A bit of a mistake from him. He's getting back going, but unfortunate if he took any damage from that. Let's have a look here. And actually, we'll see how well that goes. And there is pit stop strategy. If it is full wet, it's either going to be a one stop or a two stop, depending on how many laps you want to be doing on a set of wet tires here. So we'll see how long these guys can make these wet tires last, as we're going to have our grid be reformed back in just about a minute, less than a minute's time here. And then we're going to get started with our race start. Now 61 laps, guys. This is going to be an incredible race to watch if these guys are able to get through. Some insight, we're not sure about that either, because with conditions as they are, it is going to be quite a difficult race here. So we're just waiting for everyone to get fully reformed back to the grid, and then we can safely get started with the Singapore Grand Prix. So round 4 for TNRC, guys, and 100% race here at Singapore. Good luck to all the drivers on this one. I already said it in Discord, they need the luck. We'll see how well this goes, as we're just about to get started here right now. Looks like what needs to get starting grid there. Yes, Hapa on board with Diesel here right now. We're gonna have a look and see if he's gonna get a good start against Loves a Good Lunch on the start. And here we go, guys. That is lights out. I wonder if someone just jumped the start. Yep, XO just jumped the start there. So he's going to get a drive-through penalty for that. And we got lap 1 going through. Let's see how turn 1 goes. And looks like Loves a Good Lunch gets away pretty well. Diesel falls on a few positions there. Smitty gets up into second. Brifica up to third and running. Quite a changes. Not going to be the same as they would be in a dry race. So these guys have to adjust to all of that. Right now we got Lord getting very close with someone there. I'm not even sure who that is at this point. Okay, so he has Grimmy coming behind him right now. And we got a bit of incident there. Diesel off track. A bit of a contact with Alan, I think. And see how far he's falling down here right now. He's definitely getting back going there right now, but losing a number of positions from the top. But this Link's winning in second, and then Smitty has company. He has Briefing Cow just under a second behind him. So wet race, no DRS is going to be enabled here, guys. They're going to have to do without that. ERS not going to be too much useful in this race, as we all know how that tends to work when it's a wet session. And yeah, so we're just following on the briefing car right now. On lap 1 still running here, and we got a bit of a, I don't say a bit of a gap, we got just a close gap between a lot of drivers. We got Grimmy getting very close to Lord for 5th position, and he's trying to go on the Lord. He got position back at him, and so is TFFLR trying to come in that spot there as well, trying to get a position up if he can. So Grimmy has gotten away with 5th position on an overtake down there, and then Lord is still trying to catch up and keep get back that position. We got a penalty for XO. That's his drive-through penalty that he does have to serve within the next 3 laps. Or he will be disqualified from the race if he does not do that. And once again, that penalty was for him jumping the race start, which is actually pretty easy to do if you guys think about it, especially on a session like this. Happening else on track. Who was that? I think XO might be doing his drive-through. I'm not sure if he's doing a drive-through or not. But we got Diesel in the pits there right now. I think he might have some damage on his car. after that incident there earlier. But we'll see how that works out for him. Let's have a look actually see what's happening here. We got Allen and Briefing Cow pretty close together. These two are right now. So is Rabsy and Sternface there. But following with Allen right now, he's trying to get by Briefing Cow, trying to go. Okay, this is actually so currently dealing with on their onboard view. You gotta just get out alongside the car just to see what is actually happening, and we're trying to see how these guys are getting through. And Briefing Cow and Allen fighting it through for fourth position right now. And let's see who's getting that. It looks like Allen is up into third position right now. Briefing Cow is down to fourth, so he's gotten a position up and pushed Briefing Cow down. Grimmy is about 3.2 seconds behind them, and he's coming on as well. Second behind. And what's wrong over the let's see, Dave and someone here switch positions, I think. Oh, we got quite a close gap with two Red Bull and a racing point here. That's Rapsy, Glovestar, and Sternface. Let's see if anybody's going to get up a position here or not. We're going to follow on with them for just a bit to see how they get away. Rapsy looking to get around Sternface right now for 10th position. And Sternface just trying to catch up with Dave right now, keep up with him to get up into 9th position there. Loves a good lunge doing the fat front. He's leading off his car as well, as he doesn't is not traveling or running behind another car, so doesn't have that spray coming off the car in front of him. And track still as wet as when he started this race, so it doesn't look like it's drying out anytime soon. We're going to see how well that works out too, as Rabsy is getting very close to Sternface, looking to take on the inside here, but still not close enough to actually get it done. He's going to have to hold it on there in P11 for now and continue through this race the same way he is going at the moment. Going down to Rayquaza there in 13. He's looking to get a close gap on Glovestar there in 12. Glovestar is, I'm not sure if he's going to allow this to happen or not. Oh, actually, Rabsy's getting a bit closer here right now to Sternface, and if Sternface does make a mistake, I think he's gonna try and get up that position. And someone is falling down the order. Dave is falling down the order, and there goes Rabsy to 9th position right now. If Sternface is get that back, I think he might have caught him sleeping for just a bit. And we have a virtual safety car right now. Something's happening with Dave, I think. I'm not sure, but I think he's disconnected from the session. But yeah, so we got Rabsy getting up into 9th position, Surface down to 10th, and just a safety car, a virtual safety car, sorry, just after that overtake happened. So Surface is not able to try and get it back as yet, and it's a drive-through penalty for Smitty there for speeding under the safety, the virtual safety car. So he's running a second with a drive-through penalty. That's gonna hurt his race right now, and he got up to this to second position here right on lap. This is gonna be over pretty soon, guys. We can take that into account. As we're running here right now, we'll see how well that works out. So Loves a Good Lunge is going to get a way bigger gap, I guess, to work with. It's going to put Allen up into 2nd place and Briefing Cow up into 3rd. We'll see where Smitty comes out when he does do that drive-through penalty after the VSC is over. We got Sternface coming up right alongside Rabsy right now, trying to get by him, but I think he just got a warning on his screen and had to slow down, just not get a penalty for speeding under the VSC, and that is at the close for just a bit there. And he's just now about 2 seconds away from Sternface, and gap is increasing a bit there. So we got Smitty in the pits doing his drive-through penalty, I think, there already. Let's have a look at that. Yep, he is doing that drive-through penalty, and this is putting Allen up into 2nd place. Loves a Good Lunge still continues to lead the Singapore Grand Prix right now, with Briefing Cow down there in 2nd, Grimmy running in 4th. Briefing Cow in 3rd, Grimmy running in 4th, Lord running in 5th. Got TFFLR currently in 4th position. He's actually pretty close behind Lord right now, and I think he's looking to get, but let's get on board with him right now. Very difficult conditions to see in, but he's taking the chance of getting that close to Lord's car because he's really looking to get that overtake done. And if you really don't know these track, guys, it's going to be very difficult to drive under these conditions, as we can see how hard this rain is actually coming down right now on these drivers. So very, very difficult to deal with cars sliding all over the track. Traction is really minimum at this point. We're having the racing line show on track just a bit, if you can have a look on overhead view here. So just a bit, the racing line is showing where all drivers are currently driving. That's going to be the fastest point on the track at the moment. We got Rayquaza getting very, very close down to Marquez down at the back. I think, let's see what happened. Did he get by? No, he didn't. Unfortunately for him, I think he's still trying to get that position up though. So let's get back up. We got Dave into the pits there right now. We got back with TFFLR out in front here in 6th, trying to get past Lord there in 5th position. And yeah, that gap is going to stay a bit constant, and we're going to see how well that's going to work out for him there. And it looks like Dave has been kicked from the session for some reason. As I'm just noticing in I'm just noticing that in Discord here right now. So Dave has been kicked off of the session. So he's no longer in our session and driving, which explains why he was falling down the road. I know he got disconnected, and I think might be a glitch which have actually kicked him off the session. We're not sure why that happened. But unfortunate for Dave. He's all the way down in 16th. His car is there. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get back on. If he is listening, hopefully he might try to get a restart on his Xbox, go and see if he's going to be able to get back online. That's the only thing possible I can think that might fix that glitch. We got Briefing Cow currently into the pits right now. What's he doing here right now? Is he taking a pit stop? Is he serving a penalty? I think he's taking a pit stop here right now. So on lap 5, I'm not sure if he has any damage or not. He's just switching on to a new set of wet tires. And looks like he's having a wing change. He did take damage to his front wing, so that's affecting him a bit. So Loves a Good Lunge still out here leading this race quite comfortably actually. No damage on his car, running pretty well. And yeah, has quite a bit of a gap on Alan. I think Alan running in second right now. And not sure how far back Grimmy is from him. Let's see if we can have a look. So not in sight of Grimmy's car here at the moment either. Running in third. Lord running here in fourth. He's about 6.8 seconds behind Grimmy. So a bit of a gap to work with for him. Then we got TFFLR here, another second behind Lord right now, which at this point I would say is a close gap if you're a second behind a car, but it's actually very difficult to actually catch up and get past unless the car in front of you is making some sort of significant mistake. So that's a bit difficult for them to deal with. We got EXO here, currently running at 13, just behind Mark Hughes and Glovestar as well. So he's trying to get up a position here. Let's see if he's going to be able to do that. Mark Hughes getting very close, trying to get alongside Glovestar right now and has to hold back for just a bit. Doesn't want to risk losing another position to EXO just behind him. And we got Requas coming as well, just behind. So both McLaren's coming behind Mark Hughes in the AlphaTauri right now. So he's under some serious pressure of trying to get past Glovestar in that Red Bull in front of him. And let's see if he's going to be able to get this done. He needs to try and get that overtake done before EXO tries to catch up and gets past him for 12th position here. So a bit of a train with 4 cars running in it here right now. And let's see if this is going to change at some point or not. So both McLaren teammates running in 13 and 14 there. That's EXO and Requas. And they're trying to chase down Mark Hughes, trying to get him to make some sort of mistake to get themselves up into 11th position there. Alright, so we got Mark Hughes and Glovestar going for it. Mark Hughes is up a position, up into 11. Glovestar is now down into 12. And looks like he's losing another position to EXO going by and goes up into 12th position. They're still going side by side through. And it looks like I think EXO might have gotten that position up. Glovestar down to 13. He's now under pressure from Requas coming behind him to try and get by. We got Briefing Car and Ramsey, I think, just switched positions there as well. Diesel has been disconnected from the session. And he is running down in 17th. I'm not sure if he's been kicked off of the session as well. How unfortunate if that has happened. And there goes EXO getting a 3-second penalty for track warnings. I think he's exceeded track limits for that. That's why. And yeah, Ramsey and Briefing Cow. Briefing Cow having some problems, unfortunately, here, I think. And he's down at the side of the track. Lost his front wing in there, I think it is, or no. He's lost a portion of his front wing, I think. Definitely so, and he's getting back racing here right now. So a bit of contact, I guess, maybe with Ramsey out front, we're not sure. Oh, and that's him into the wall. And Briefing Cow is out of the session. I'm not sure if that was intentional there or not to take his car out, because that's caused a full-on safety car in this race here right now. And that's going to be another 3 laps for everyone to go under the safety car. And there comes the safety car going through here right now. I'm really not sure if that was intentional for Briefing Cow there, because I'm quite sure if he's retiring, he's supposed to retire in the pits. He had quite a bit of damage on that car. So we're not sure how that's going to work out. Stewart will be looking at that at the end of the race and determining if he's going to get a penalty for the next race next week for what. I'm not sure how that plays out, but definitely something's going to happen in that case there. So let's get back with our grid and what we have happening here right now. So first safety car of the Singapore Grand Prix on lap 6 of 61. So quite a bit of way to go in this session here. And looks like Diesel has been kicked off of the session as well. I'm not sure why this has happened, but they have been both kicked off. So Dave and Diesel have been kicked off of the lobby that we have running here right now. And we got Loves a Good Dance currently in the pits. Let's see with him here right now. So he's taking a pit stop on this safety car to get onto a fresh set of tires. And he's having a wing change as well. So probably had a bit of damage on that front wing. because we are on simulation damage. So I think with simulation damage, minor damage doesn't actually show on the front wing. So a few things changing around right now. So it looks like Alan is going to take over the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix for now. We have Grimmy now running there in second, trying to catch up with Alan out front with the safety car. And we got Lord running in P3. TFFLR running P4. We got Bird now running in 5th. Lonzo Good Lunch came out the back of the pits in 6th position. It looks like he has a penalty for what? I'm not sure yet. Let's have a look at that. And he has a 5-second penalty there. Smitty there in 7th now. Sternface in 8th. Rabsy running in 9th. We got Marcuse now running in 10. Glovestar in 11. Requaz in 12. And that's changing around a bit. So Requaz is now 11. Marcuse 12. X2 in 13. Mini Smoke in 14. Dave disconnected from the session in 15. Dizzle disconnected from the session in 16. Unfortunate for the two of them. I'm not sure why that has happened. I think it's a glitch that usually caused that. The only thing I can say is try to restart and try to get back on. But I don't think that works in some cases. I've actually been disconnected from a session I was streaming before, and it did not. I was on PlayStation, but it did not allow me to get back on even after a restart to try and get back onto the lobby. It would not allow. So I'm not sure if these guys are going to be able to get back into this race. Unfortunate for them, this has happened. But we're just waiting to get over with this safety car here right now, and yeah, then get back to our race session. So that safety car has triggered maybe just a few bits up. So Dave currently with another drive-through penalty. His AI is driving like crap right now. I'm not even sure why. As you can see, I'm not sure if he's gotten back on. Hopefully he's gotten back on and we'll be able to get up a few positions when this race does get going again. I'm not sure because Dizzle's car is not showing disconnected here right now. Does have severe damage on that car though, so I'm not sure what's happening at the moment. How many cars are disconnected or not. But we'll see how that works out as we get further into the session here. So currently we're still following on with Alan, who is running under the safety car at the moment. And hopefully we're going to get over with that. Maybe at the end of this lap or the end of lap 8. I'm not sure as yet when that's going to happen. Probably at the end of lap 8. If I'm getting this right, we'll see how long the safety car is going to last. As they need to get Briefing Cow's car off track and clear off any debris that was left on track by him there as well. But I gotta say, so far so good for the race start here. And Dizzle has retired from the session. So that's 2 drivers out of the session here now. Briefing Cow, I think, I'm not sure if he took himself out or not. But TDNF, Dizzle has retired from the session. Dave, I'm not sure what's happening with him at the moment there, if he's still in the session or not. So this currently leaves us with 15, possibly 14 drivers only in the session running at the moment. We're still following on with Alan here, and we're going to have a look to see when our safety car is going to come in. We're currently on lap 8 and running, so hopefully at the end of this lap, the safety car is about to get back in, and we can get back to racing and see how the rest of the session is going to progress on through. So let's have a look at a few more things as we're on the safety car still. So tires, as they are, we know everyone's currently running on wet tires. We don't need to even look at that. And they don't have to do just one pit stop. They can do whatever they want to do right now because conditions are not dry. So position changes as they are right now. Who's gained the most positions so far? So we got Rabsy and TFFLR and Grimmy all gained 7 positions from the race start so far. And I think the driver in the highest position finishing will be getting that driver of the day. Of course, it's still very, very early in the race to even determine anything like this right now. So we're not going to go to that. And it looks like Glovestar has been disconnected from the session there as well. I'm not sure what's happening. We'll have a look at that in a bit. If he is disconnected or not, we're not sure. I'm going to continue on to follow with Alan at the moment. So Grim is still running second, and he's trying to keep as close as he can right now to Alan's car for the restart to happen here. So I think most of our gaps are going to be pretty close on a restart, except for Marcuse there. He's still about 23 seconds behind Requaz to try and catch up to that safety car queue. So hopefully he does get to catch up before we get back restarted here. Which I really didn't pay attention if that's happening on this lap or not. But we'll have a look in a bit. Doesn't look like it's happening on this lap because we have Alan still very, very close behind the safety car right now. So it does look like we're going to have to go one more lap under the safety car, and this is absolutely ridiculous right now. So unfortunate for Diesel not able to get back into this session. But not sure if Dave is still in or not. Currently X2 now running down in 15th, Dave up to 14th. We're going to see how things play out when we do get further into the race, what's going to happen there. So at least still 15 drivers showing in the session here. Still, we'll see how this continues on here right now. So we still have a few more drivers yet to catch up. So our safety car crew still yet. So Mark is still about 24 seconds behind Requires right now. We got Dave about 16 seconds behind Mini Smoke, and EXO about 16 seconds behind Dave right now. So they're all just trying to catch up back to our safety car crew before we get restarted at the moment. Okay, so currently running on lap 9 of 61. I think we should be able to get back restarted at the end of this lap. There's a few cars left to actually catch up. And I see a few drivers are getting drive-through penalties for speeding under the safety car right now. I think they're just trying to catch up to the safety car, and that's happened there. So that's going to kind of hurt the race a bit as well, getting that drive-through penalty. We do have Loves a Good Lunger has a 5-second penalty to deal with as well, which probably he will serve when he does take the next pit stop. Because he definitely will have to take another pit stop here. So we're going to keep as close as we can. One, Dave has been disqualified from the session here for too many drive-through penalties. So that's going to be him out. That's going to leave us with just 14 drivers in this session here right now. And we should be getting back racing at the end of this session. So we're just waiting for the guys to get around the track here at the moment. Safety car should be veering off by itself in just a bit. And we should be getting back racing with that there. Okay, so let's see what's happening. It looks like we're still going another lap under the safety car. Why are we going so many laps under the safety car? This is getting to a point where I'm questioning it right now. Because I don't see any reason why we should be doing so many laps under a safety car at this point. I think it's safe enough to go back racing. Everything should be cleared off track. So what's happening here right now? Oh, see, this is just frustrating right now. I'm not sure how it is on the driver's end, but on my end watching this is getting a bit infuriating. I mean, we've done a number of laps under the safety car right now. It's lap 10. I think that safety car happened around lap 6. We should have gotten back racing already. Why is the safety car not going in? What, is he having so much fun driving in the rain or something? Oh, there's race control, everyone falling asleep in the office or something. I don't know what's going on with race control. They're not giving the notice for the safety car to go in. So he's not gone in. We still got to continue under the safety car now on lap 10 and running. I don't know, this is ridiculous on my end. I expected we should have been back racing here by now. So unfortunately, we now have to wait to get back, hopefully at the end of this lap. We'll keep an eye out to see if that's going to happen then. Otherwise, somebody's going to have to pick up the phone and call race control and see what the hell is going on, because we're supposed to be back racing already. It's usually just about 3 laps under a safety car, unless something significant happens on track. Oh, there we go. Someone finally woke up. Thank you. So safety car is going to be in on this lap, guys, and we're going to get back to racing on into lap 11 of 61 for the Singapore Grand Prix. So we still got about 51 laps here to go. And it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out going to the end. We got 14 drivers left in the session. Hopefully nobody else gets disconnected or kicked off the lobby or takes himself out of the race. Let's continue on and let's see how it goes. So safety car is already off. We got Alan holding back the grid just a bit right now, and we'll be getting started with the restart here pretty soon. In just a few seconds time. So it's going to be quite an interesting restart because we got everybody quite close and bunched up together to get back going here right now. Alright, so I think just one final turn to get around and we should get back racing. Let's get on Grimmy's view here and see if he's going to get a good run behind Alan going through. And looks like he actually is pretty close by. Let's see if he can get close enough. Does have Lord coming behind him. I don't think he's close enough to get by, but he's going to keep up with Alan going through turns 1 and turn 2. And let's see what turn 3 goes like here for him. Trying to take the inside and trying to get as close up to him as he can. Let's have a look at the rest of the grid as they're getting through right now. Everyone seems to have gotten through pretty fine. I got Loves to Go Done getting past Board down at the back there. So we'll have a look at that in just a bit. As Grimmy is getting very close now behind Alan here. I'm not sure if that's going to be a pass happening pretty soon or not. But he's actually looking to get that overtake done. Let's see TFFLR trying to go side by side with, I think, Lord here. Trying to get by up into P3 he goes. And trying to keep that position right now. Lord trying to come back at him. And unfortunately not able to get by as conditions are still very difficult on track. So he's going to have to hold on there in P4 right now. And that's TFFLR up a position. We got Loves a Good Run trying to get a position up on Lord right now. Oh, and Lord has lost the rear end just a bit. No damage to his car. Pretty good save and gets back racing. Into P5 he goes. Down to 6 actually. Going side by side with Board. And let's see who comes out of this one. Has the inside. And looks like he might get up a position. Board has to recede back to position 6. And holds it there for now. That's a pretty good view we're having there. And goes across the bridge. So far so good. Follow on between Lord, Board, and Smitty here right now. And between Smitty and Board right now, having a switch, the two of them are. So Boyd is now down into 7th position. This puts Smitty up into 6 and trying to get up as much positions as they can here right now. Allen leading the race out front, 1.4 seconds away from Grimmy. And Grimmy got a bit of a gap going against TFFLR, who just took a penalty there as well. 3.2 seconds behind Grimmy he is. I think he's coming under a bit of pressure, just having maybe making some mistakes on track here right now, because losing some time to a Grimmy here. And Loves a Good Lunch is about 1.8 seconds behind him, so let's see how that catch up is going to work. Currently following on with Smitty here right now, who's trying to catch up to Lord. And let's go on board a bit. This rain is still actually falling pretty hard here right now, so I don't think this is going to ease off anytime soon. Looks like it's going to be raining heavily throughout the entire race. Maybe, I'm not sure. We're going to have a look on how that goes. So far so good for most of our drivers. Let's have a look what's happening down in the back between Exo and Mark Hughes here. Oh, we got someone into the pits. Mark Hughes is into the pits right now. Not sure if he has damage or just taking a drive-through penalty or what he's doing there right now. We'll keep an eye on each driver as they go on in this race. We're following on with Sternface right now, trying to get a position up on board if he can. Let's have a look at that. He has Rabsy and the Red Bull coming behind here under a second gap is as well. So pretty close by. And yeah, Board is actually getting a lot of pressure coming off the car behind him. So Sternface is getting right up to his rear right now. Exo might have gotten past with Quaz there up a position when he came out. So the gaps go and come a bit as cars have to brake and get around some turns, and then they just go again. So we're going to keep an eye and see how this is working out right now. Out front, I think Loves a Good Lunch is the closest gap of just under a second to TFFLR, running in P3 right now. We're currently following on with Bird, Sternface, and Rapsy here for P7, 8, and 9, and see how these trees are getting through. I think so far so good for Sternface, trying to keep a constant gap between himself and Board right now. Trying to avoid any possible damage on this car as well. Let's get back out front to Loves a Good Lunch and TFFLR. That gap is actually pretty close. Let's see if Loves a Good Lunch is going to get a good go to get around. Needs to have a very good opportunity of getting that overtake done and avoid any more penalties if he can here. I see EXO is getting actually pretty close to Gloucester there in 10th. So I'm trying to keep an eye on that battle on the back, and we're going to follow in just a bit. We got Alan getting the fastest lap in the race so far. No surprise, they're currently leading the Singapore Grand Prix, as Loves a Good Lunch is trying to get a good run down the pit straight to get up close to TFFLR for P3 right now. I think we got both Williams in a very good position here, because we got TFFLR in 3rd and we got Alan there in P1. And let's see if Loves a Good Lunch is getting a good go on TFFLR here for P3 right now. Getting on board with him. He's looking for his gap to go on. And gaps are something that can be broken down quite easily sometimes here, guys. But to get past a car in front of you, especially on difficult conditions, which we're under right now, is not as easy. We can see TFFLR went a bit wide off of that exit there and left the gap open, but unfortunately Loves a Good Lunch was not able to capitalize on that at this time. He's just trying to be as careful as he can to get this overtake done and over with. So he's continuing on right now, still going to be very, very close. That gap is less than quarter of a second at the moment. Imagine that, and it's still so difficult for Loves a Good Lunch to get around. Not easy, especially under these conditions, and with a track as tight as Singapore. There's barriers everywhere you look, so there's really no runoff area. If you do make a mistake, it's going to be your car into the wall, and you're going to be losing your front wing. Have to make a pit stop, change front wing. That's going to cost you way too much of time and way too much of positions. So it's just something really drivers don't really want to take a chance with. So they're going to just they do set themselves up for getting an overtake done, but they got to set themselves up in a way and make sure that it's quite possible to get through without taking any damage and actually able to hold that overtake, because sometimes you can try and get an overtake done and then end up losing an extra position as well because you fail to actually execute it correctly. So drivers do have to be actually take all of this into consideration, and these drivers do practice quite a lot before these races, so they know what they're up against. And that's EXO taking a penalty there, and I think did Loves a Good Lunch take any damage on that car? I'm not sure. He had a bit some minor contact with the wall, and now Grimmy has the fastest lap out front. He's chasing down Alan and looks like he's catching up, and let's see if he's going to be able to get a gap under a second and fight him for the lead of the race right now. So far so good with these drivers left in the race. Only 3 drivers out, unfortunate for that, but there's nothing we can do right now. EXO falling down quite a few positions down there at the back. I'm not sure what's happening with him. We'll have a look at that in just a bit, as we got Loves a Good Lunch still trying to go alongside here right now with TFFLR, and looks like he's about to get alongside and trying to go a long way around the outside. And let's see if he's gotten that position up. Does not look like he gotten up as yet. Still trying to go side by side with him, trying to take the inside right now. Let's see if he's going to get that done. No, he actually has to hold it back because that turret is very tight and not enough room for both cars to fully and safely go through. Doesn't want to risk it right now. So very, very clean driving we can see from our drivers here on TNRC right now. And we got 2 drivers behind of them fighting for a position there as well. That's Lord and Smitty in 5th and 6th position. Let's have a look what's going on with the 2 of them right now. So they're actually getting pretty close to each other as well, fighting it out for a position here. So trying to keep an eye on both battles as they go through. Grimmy trying to work very hard out front there in 2nd place, trying to catch up to Allen, trying to break that gap down. Did get a fastest lap on the last occasion. Hopefully he can continue on with that pace and is able to catch Allen and maybe get that position up. As we've seen so far in the race, we're on lap 14 and running. It's very difficult to even catch a car, more or so try to get past one. So gap is just about to save. Oh, and Grimmy takes a penalty right now. Starting to feel that pressure, I assume, there of trying to catch up. Loves a Good Lunch still about half a second behind TFFLR, trying to catch up. He's right up to the rear right now, and still not able to take the inside and go through, as the next turn coming up is quite a very tight one and a very narrow one. Not enough room for both cars to even try and go through. Someone would have to hold back, and if it's not him, it's going to have to be a TFFLR. And if TFFLR tries to push through as well, they're both probably going to take damage and probably take each other out of the race. So it's something they really don't want to do. They're going to play it as safe as they can right now and continue on. Down the pit straight they go into lap 15 there right now. Good thing about this race so far, we still have a number of battles happening on track, which we're able to follow and not have just a plain race with a gap between everyone here. We got Loves a Good Lunch. He's trying to take inside on TFFLR once again. Let's see if he's going to get a gap to go with here. Now back behind and trying to go alongside him. Does have to have that straight line speed and pushes on through here. Very tight to get through that corner. And he does have the room Takes the long way around the outside. Is he going to get up the position here or not? Goes a bit wide off the exit of that turn, and looks like he got up in the position into third place, and that put TFFLR down to fourth position right now. So excellent overtake there from Loves a Good Lunch. That was well executed and very cleanly done, I gotta say, and that puts him up one position up onto the podium spot here right now for a race finish. And still very early in the race though, so TFFL are down one position. We're gonna follow with Lord and Smitty here right now. Their gap is still just under a second and going. We got Bird actually trying to get his gap under a second behind Smitty right now, so that's gonna be another fight going on as well. We got Glovestar and Requaz. Their gap is about half a second down there at the back for a P10. Let's have a look at that battle as well as it continues on. McLaren trying to get up a position here into 10th position. Let's see if he's going to be able to get this done. It's running well so far, I gotta say. And honestly, this rain is not going anywhere, guys. It's going to continue on for the entire session as far as we can see here going. It doesn't look like it's going to ease up even just a bit for us to get onto the intermediate tires. We're going to probably be finishing the race with full wets. So we're going to see how well these drivers are performing in the wets right now, which we can see right now they're actually doing pretty well, I would say. We're obviously they're getting very close to stern phase for P8. We're going to keep an eye on that battle as it continues through as well. Still got Smitty and Lord fighting it out in front there, trying to keep their gap as close as possible. Of course, Lord trying to get away from Smitty there, and Board has gotten his gap to under a second. So a bit of a close gap between these guys out front, which we're going to have to follow here right now, see what's happening. TFFLR falling down a few positions. What's happened to him? Oh, he's getting into the pits right now. Not sure if he had a bit of an incident. Loves a Good Lunch is into the pits as well. And let's see, he's serving a penalty. It probably has a 5-second penalty to serve. And looks like he's going on to the intermediate tires right now. So is it time for those tires yet, guys? I'm not sure. It does seem to be pretty wet on track as it is right now. But this is dependent on the drivers. It depends what they're feeling on track. If they think the track is ready for the intermediate tires or not. We're going to see a number of cars start to pit for those tires. If that's the case, and we got TFFLR on the intermediates as well. We got Requaz going in, he's going on to the intermediate tires as well. So it looks like the track is drying out as we have a number of pit stops happening down here right now. And everyone seems to be going on to intermediates. So definitely does seem like it's a time to switch those tires off. And that's what's happening. So we're going to see how well those tires are going to be performing on track as we get back out. And actually it does seem to be a little bit less rain now. And looks like those tires might be working pretty well here. We're going to follow on board with Loves a Good Lunch right now and see if he's able to actually get by Glovestar, who's currently in P8, still on the wets there. So let's see if these intermediates are really working for him. And does look like they are, because he's getting right up to the rear of Glovestar and looks like he's going to look for a gap to go on and get by. And looks like he might actually get this done pretty easily. Looks like those on the wet tires are starting to struggle just a bit. Because if the track is starting to dry out, even if it's raining pretty hard still, the track, it looks like it's drying out a bit. So I think from their perspective, yeah, it does seem to be a little less rain now. Look like we have a safety car for some reason here. I'm not sure what the safety car is about right now, but I think probably something has happened on track somewhere which we're not aware of at the moment. And Loves a Good Lunch is going to have to hold off on his pit stop right now. Let's see if we're going to have pit stops happening out front with everyone else. We're still unsure of what has caused this safety car here right now. I'm obviously not sure. If there was a bit of a minor incident, I would expect maybe a VSC. So I'm not entirely sure what's caused the safety car. And we got our race leaders all getting into the pits here right now. A number of pit stops are going to happen. And let's see if they're going to go on to the intermediates as well, which I assume they are. Because if the back of the grid has gone to intermediates, then I think they're going to probably take that chance as well. And yep, they are. Allen continues on front. He's done a pit stop already. He's leading back the race here right now. So he's going to be following under the safety car for just a bit, as everyone seems to be getting onto the intermediate tires right now. So we're going to have a full grid of cars being on intermediate tires here, going through the rest of the race as it seems. So far so good in this race, guys. We had an excellent start to the race. We have had one safety car before this. Went on for a pretty long time, at least 4 or 5 laps that safety car lasted. I'm not sure how long the safety car is going to last, as it started right around lap 16 there, I think. We're currently on lap 17 now ongoing, so this will be counted as one lap for that safety car. We'll keep an eye and see how long it's going to last, actually. So currently we have 14 drivers remaining in this session. From we started with 17, and we're on lap 17 and going. We're not close to that halfway point as yet. That's going to be around lap 30 or so. We're getting to the halfway point. So let's see what we can have a look at here right now. Okay, so let's see if we can have, in the meanwhile, we have everyone finishing up with pit stops and whatnot. We're going to go through what the grid order currently is like after those pit stops there. I know everyone is currently going to be on the intermediate tires. Actually, let's have a look at that just before I get on to anything else here. So position changes, you guys can have a look at that there right there. Lawrence right there where he started in the race. Stops as they are, we have multiple stops for most of these cars. Everyone currently on the intermediate tires and running and going through. We got Grimmy with a 3-second penalty. Loves a good run with a 3-second. And TFFLR has 6 seconds of penalties right now. All right, so let's see what else were we going to look at. So we're going to look at something there right now. I was going to check see everyone is on the intermediate, which they are. So let's get that over with. As we continue on, we're going to follow on with Alan as he continues behind the safety car. And let's actually have a look at the Constructor Championship results so far for TNRC, guys. So far we have finished 3 rounds of our 15 race championship. So we finished Russia, we finished Vietnam, and we finished at Belgium. So far for the constructors, let's see who's leading. We have McLaren currently leading the constructors championship with 133 points. Then we got Alfa Romeo team. They're in 2nd place right now with 103 points. They're 30 points down from McLaren. So that's quite a big gap McLaren has right now. And currently we got one McLaren in 9th and one McLaren in 14th. So not doing the best in this race. But we'll see how much points they actually bring home at the end. Then we got AlphaTauri there in the 3rd position with 74 points right now. And then just behind them in 4th, we got the Haas with 72 points. So actually just a 2-point difference between AlphaTauri and Haas. So we're going to have a look at that, how they finished there as well. Then we got, who's next? We got Renault in 5th place with 44 points. And so is Racing Point. They have 44 points as well, tying off to each other there. And then we got Red Bull, I think, with, they're in 7th with 38 points, not too far behind. Then Williams with 37 points. And Williams looking pretty good in this race at first there. So we're going to see how they finish. We got Ferrari in 9th with 29 points. And Mercedes all the way down in 10th, unfortunately for them, with 28 points. They're 105 points away from our leading team for the Constructors' Championship there. So quite a bit of a gap in between some of these guys for constructors, and a close gap between down and the back with most of the teams. So McLaren leading by 30 points for the championship, and that's quite a big lead they have. And we're only 3 races in so far. This is our 4th race for TNRC, and we're going to see how well they finish or how much points they're going to bring in. But either way, they're still going to continue to lead the championship, even I think even if they don't gain any points on this race. But they're going to get some points at least here. We'll see how that works out though as we continue through the session. So let me just make sure everything is okay on our streams and does seem to be going good so far. Yep, I think everything is fine thus far stream wise. Nothing new in the Discord to report so far with you guys. So just having a look at what our point structure is for TNRC. As we continue on with the safety car, it's really not much going on track, guys. So I'm just going to let you guys in on some information that we have going on, you know, with the league and whatnot. So for Thursday Night Race Cup TNRC, for the point structure, I actually never had a look at it, but this does make a lot of sense that, you know, doesn't matter what position you finish, whether it's 1st position or 20th position, you will be getting points. I think this was placed in an effort to make sure that nobody retires from the session, because it is a 100% race. Drivers would tend to want to retire early off in the session if you're not doing so well down at the back or whatnot, but you're still going to be getting points no matter what position you finish. Because the point structure starts with 1st position getting 30 points, 2nd place getting 25, 3rd place gets 21, 4th place gets 19, 5th 5th you get 18, 6th you get 17, 7th you get 16, 8th you get 15, 9th you get 14, 10th you get 13. Going all the way down to 20th position, there's where you get 1 point. And also, if you have clean racing with 0 points, 0 penalties, sorry, at the end of the race, you get 3 points for that. And fastest lap does get 1 point. And if you get a DNF, it's absolutely 0 points. So that's the only way of getting 0 points, if you DNF a session. So that's how the point structure is for TNRC. We'll probably have to do the same thing for S1R4 when we do get to the race on Sunday. It's going to be Singapore for them on Sunday as well. So look forward to that race. I think that's going to be quite an interesting one as well. That's only going to be a 50% race. But it's still going to be quite interesting to see how that's going to work out. Okay, so let's get back to what's happening here. Let me just move on back. Okay, so I'm just moving back over here. My computer is a little bit too close to my TV screen, and it's a 50-inch TV, so I really can't be that close and sitting and looking at what's happening. So I tend to sit a little bit further away just to keep an eye on what's going on. I do keep Discord open on my computer so I can have a look if anything changes there as well, so just to know what's happening as well. So we're currently on lap 19 right now, running under the safety car. I haven't paid attention if we're going in on this lap, but looks like we are, because that safety car is going off into the distance already. So it looks like we're going to go back racing into lap 20 of the Singapore Grand Prix, which is going to be quite interesting to see how this restart is going to go. Okay, so just about 1 turn left and we will be getting back to this race here right now. So let's see how well this restart goes, as we're already back going already, and back across the line goes the guys. And we got Loves a Good Lunge getting a good start on Grimmy, trying to get up into second, and he does get up into second already. Hopefully that happened just after the racing line there, so the finish line, sorry, so he didn't do an illegal overtake. But yeah, he got up into second. That's Grimmy down into third position right now. Let's have a look at the rest of the grid as they get it through. Everyone seems to have gotten through pretty well. His penalty is out front though for Loves a Good Lunge, Grimmy, and TFFLR so far. EXO has a penalty down in the back as well. They're working with that. They're going to have to figure out how they're going to get rid of those penalties. So Loves a Good Lunge very close behind Alan right now, who currently leads the Singapore Grand Prix. Just under a second that gap is, and he's trying to bring that down as much as he can. Actually bringing it down quite a bit here. Let's have a look if he's going to be able to take away the lead right now. And everyone on a fresh intermediate tires right now and running. And we all had these pit stops happen just before that safety car happened there. So Loves a Good Lunge is getting a pretty good go on Alan here, trying to keep that gap as close as he can right now. Rabsy there in 9th position. He's trying to keep his gap down as close as he can as well. And so is Mini Smoke and EXO down at the back. And I would say Sternface as well. They all have a pretty close gap to each other. So we're trying to see what's happening here. Grimmy seems to have lost a bit of time to Loves a Good Lunge there, who currently is in second. He's about 1.3 seconds behind. Mini Smoke takes a penalty there right now. Down into 14th position he goes now too. So a bit of contact probably down at the back. Let's have a look at that. Not seeing any damage on this car. Maybe just a bit of a mistake on his end, I'm not sure. But either way, running pretty well so far. So let's go on with Rabsy here. A bit of a battle going on between Requaz, him, and Marcuse for, I guess, for 8th position right now. Gaps are starting to build back a bit, just a bit out front. Actually Loves a Good Lunge is trying to keep his gap under a second between himself and Alan there for the lead of the race. And we'll see if that's going to be a battle going on anytime soon or not. We're on lap 21 of 61, sorry, and going through now. So we got about 40 laps left to go in this race. Smitty getting actually under a second behind Lord as well. So I'm just keep looking at these gaps that keep going under a second to see how well these guys are following on with each other. And yeah, they're actually doing pretty well, I would say, coming off this restart to try and keep these gaps as close as they can. And we're currently following with Rabsy still, as he's really trying to get up a position on Requas, and we have Marcus coming behind him. So he's going to have to be a bit careful about this. And looks like the track is starting to dry out even more right now. And looks like we might be going to fully dry tires to the end of the race here. And that's going to be really interesting to see. So a really fun race starting on full wets, getting onto the intermediate tires before we even get to the halfway point of the race. And if this continues on with what's going on right now, looks like we might go to the dry tire compounds before we get to the end of the race, which is going to increase the speed of these cars a lot more. And we're going to see how well the guys adapt to that transition actually. Let's get back on the overhead view. They're going over the bridge section as they go through. That gap is actually still pretty close between Ramsey and Requaz. And Ramsey was trying to go around the outside, just not close enough to actually get by there. Oh, and Ramsey made a mistake. Ramsey did not brake in time, had to take a bit of a runaway to stop his car and avoid damage there. Not sure if he took any damage still from that. Grimmy now takes a fastest lap out front and is catching up with Loves a Good Lunch for a second place. Let's see if he's going to be able to get that position. Ramsey falls down a few positions because of that bit of mistake he just made there. And we got EXO here, currently 11, getting very, very close to Glove Star. And looks like he might try a move on the outside. Now actually pulls back onto the racing line and keeps up behind him. And has Ramsey coming behind him as well. So let's see how EXO is getting through, if he's going to get a position here or not. He's actually pretty close by to Glove Star right now. And really looking forward to get up another position. That gap is extremely close. He just needs to get around somewhere. And looks like he might take the inside and go through. And let's see if he's going to get this done. It's going to be Will actually going through. And Glove Star gets a good run. So it's going to put EXO back down to 11. Can't get that position up as yet. And this track is drying out as we go through. So we're going to be going on to dry tires at some point very, very soon. And we're going to see how drivers adapt. And if they're going to wait for another safety car to do a pit stop, or they're just going to have to do air stops when they're actually ready to do that. Because these tires are going to be giving some trouble when the track dries out too much. If there's absolutely no water on track to displace, they're going to have to get off the racing line, maybe even to try and find some water to displace just to keep these tires up to temperature and running through. Those tires are going to start to overheat. And that's Ramsey along at the back, going wide there, I think, again, and messing up that turn. He has a stern face getting up very close behind him, so he's going to have to get a bit worried about that as well. And we got Smitty getting very close once again to Lord there. We're going to keep an eye on that action as he goes through. And let's follow on board right now with EXO as he's getting very close to Glove Star for 10th position here. A gap out front between Grimmy and Loves a Good Lunch has dropped back quite a bit. So I'm not sure. Grimmy might be having some trouble there. And Loves a Good Lunch is gaining time right now. And Allen has a gap of just under a second. Has the fastest lap now as well, 158.019. So yeah, he's doing pretty well. And Grimmy is into the pits right now. Let's see what tires is going on. I want to see if he's going to be changing onto dry tires at the moment here or not. I'm not sure. Oh, it does look like he's going on to the medium tires. Definitely so. So I think this track is actually ready for a dry tire set, and he's going on to that right now, going on to the mediums, and we're getting a wing change. He's getting back out on track and hoping that he's the one taking the first pit stop, and hopefully gets back up quite a few positions when everyone else does decide to do their pit stop here. So he's getting back out of the pits right now. It looks like he's going to be exiting the pits and getting down into maybe 14th position as Mini Smoke just gets by. So Grimmy is all the way down to 14th right now because of his pit stop there. But he is on the dry tires. I want to get on board with him and see how well those tires are actually working for him right now. Tires seem to be doing pretty well actually, so I'm not sure. It all depends if he's gaining time or losing time to Mini Smoke out front. That's going to be how we know if the track was ready for these tires or not. From the sound of it, he's probably having a bit of a difficulty with them. Maybe they did a lot more on the intermediates or so before getting onto these. So we're going to continue to follow on here and see what's going to be happening. Let's get on to EXO there, who's currently still chasing down Love Star for 9th position. And they seem to be getting pretty good traction off of these tires still. So we're going to see when the rest of the grid does decide to pit for the dry compound tires. And EXO really looking for a good opportunity to get by here, just not getting one right now on some very tight corners on this track. So we're going to have to hold it down there in 10th position. It looks like he's getting held up a bit. We got TFFLR into the pits right now. Want to have a look and see where he is going with his tire change, if he's going to go onto the dry compound tires as well, which I think he might be. And he's going onto the mediums as well. So definitely having a change of strategy right now with the guys going on to the next set of tires. Alright, so there we have TFFLR getting out on track right now. And let's see where he gets out. And we got Rayquaza into the pits there right now, which I'm quite sure he'll probably be going on to the dry tires as well. Going on to the mediums as well. A number of pit stops now happening. And definitely everyone going on to the dry tires. Let's see when our race leader, who currently is Loves a Good Lunge there, who went past Alan for the lead of the race. We actually missed that, sorry about that. But yeah, Loves a Good Lunge take over for the lead of the race. And we're going to wait to see when he decides to do a pit stop here. So a bit of a close gap between Smitty, Bird, and we got Lord in front of them as well. So let's keep on the mid car here and have a look on how this battle is going through with the three of them. Of course, it looks like it's ready time for those dry tires to work on track. So we're going to see when everyone does decide to do their pit stops here. We got quite a bit of spacing going on track right now with most of our drivers. And yeah, but everyone's still in a bit of a battle between each other. Quite a close gap between a few cars here. A few seconds between some of the drivers. And we're going to have the pit stop, so that's going to change things up just a bit when these guys all do decide to go back into the pits. And we have DRS enabled from race control, which means it's dry enough for the dry tires right now. That's definitely going to tell you that. So we're going to have DRS advantage for cars running now within a second of each other. That's going to be a bit helpful. And of course, they're going to still be using their ERS as well. So we got our race leader, Loves a Good Lunge, and guy in second place there, Alan, they're getting into the pits right now. And the rest of the cars getting into the pits as well. Everyone getting for their pit stop. And quite sure everyone's going to go on the medium tires. Let's see if anyone's going on the soft tires here right now. Let's get on to tires as they are. And we got Loves a Good Lunge going on the hards. Alan going on the hards. And let's see where the rest of the grid is going to go in terms of that there. We got Lord went on to the mediums. Smitty went on to the mediums. Bird went on to the hards. Where is Marcuse and where he's going? Marcuse, I think, went on to, I'm not sure where he's going on to as yet. We're trying to have a look at that. And Ramsey has gone onto the soft tires, so he's trying to pick up some pace and get a few positions up here right now. We'll have to do another pit stops, obviously. I know the hard tires can possibly make it to the end of the race at this point here. They should be able to make it to the end of the race. Those medium tires, I'm not so sure about them. Those guys might have to take another pit stop. I'm not sure about the hards as well. They might be able to make it to the end of the race. The mediums, we're not so sure about. They probably going to be doing another stop with that. But yeah, so far, that's where everyone is with tires there, guys. So two, Loves a Good Lunge and Alan on the hard tires, as well as Bird there and Mini Smoke down at the back. Those guys are on hards. Most of our drivers are on the mediums, and one driver, Rabsy, is on the soft tires. So let's see how that's working out for them here right now. Get back to our race. We're on lap 25 and going, and we're going to see some faster race pace time here now. Alright, so we're following on with Alan here right now. He's getting a pretty good go on Loves a Good Lunge, and he's trying to go on the inside. Goes on the inside, goes through on, takes away the lead of the race, and that is Loves a Good Lunge almost losing the rear end and getting into the the wall there, sorry, and barely saves it actually, and keeps it going there in second place. TFFLR running in P3 is about 4.2 seconds behind, and he's coming down the order as well, trying to get up a position. So let's see, he has some time to catch up. Exo down the bottom getting another penalty there in 14th position. And what's really good to see is that we still have our 14 drivers continuing on in the session. No more DNFs or disqualifications as yet, that is. And I think a bit of a gap building between most of our drivers right now. And we're going to follow on through down at the back here with Marcuse as he's catching up with Rabsy, who is running in 8th position. TFFLR getting the fastest lap so far. Loves a Good Lunge gets a penalty. And TFFLR running in third, so he's trying to catch up to Loves a Good Lunch right now. And let's see how possible that is going to be. It seems like gap might be breaking down just a bit there. And let's get back up here with Lord and Bird. And yeah, these two are actually getting pretty close. And so is Grimmy down there in 7th. He's getting pretty close to them as well, as he's up to speed with everyone else. I think his first lap on those tires was not the best, but he's back up to speed with everyone else running on the medium and well, dry tires right now. So gap is pretty close. We got Lord going side by side with Bird and gets up in the 5th position. That puts Bird down a position into 6th now. Let's see if he's going to be able to get it back. And looks like he might have to recede that and just leave it for now. And he's going to have to be a bit worried about Grimmy coming just behind him as well, trying to get up another position here. So we got Grimmy in 7th place right now. Let's see how close he is getting to Bird in front of him. And looks like he's about to get side by side with Bird and gets by up into 6th place. That puts Bird down to 7th position now. Not sure if Bird is going to be able to get back by. Let's have a board on board with him and see how that's going for him here right now. And out front, I see Loves a Good Lunch getting the fastest lap and getting very, very close to Allen there right now. Under a second his gap is. And now TFFLR gets the fastest lap, so he's catching up and breaking down that gap as well. So we have to keep an eye and see how that is actually going out front with Loves a Good Lunch here. Getting very close actually to Allen, and so is TFFLR, just about 3/10 behind. One more than what Loves a Good Lunch is behind Allen right now. Ramsey gets another 3-second penalty there. So Loves a Good Lunch getting half a second behind Allen right now. Closing that gap as we go through lap 27. And he's really looking to get by. Let's see if he's going to be able to get up a position here or not. That gap is getting closer and closer. He just needs a good run on Allen to get by at the moment here. Looks like he's going to have to hold it here in P2 at least for now, until he gets maybe a bit of a straight portion on track to get a good run. We got a yellow flag in sector 2. Someone is off track there just a bit, and that might be Grimmy, I'm not sure. Oh, we got a bit of contact between Loves a Good Lunch and Allen is into the wall there, and I'm not sure if that's going to be it for him in the race. Might have quite a bit of damage here. TFFLR and Loves a Good Lunch go side by side to get through here. TFFLR gets up into the lead of the race now and puts Allen down to 2nd. And he, sorry, he's no, my bad. He's still fighting it with TFFLR to get Loves a Good Lunch, still trying to get that lead away, and still has damage on that car. So not sure how that's going to play out with him. Allen down to 4th position after himself getting into the wall a bit there, and these two are still going side by side. Getting onto the pit straight here right now as Loves a Good Lunch goes wide, and TFFLR continues on into the lead of the race. Smitty now getting the fastest lap. Loves a Good Lunch has some damage on his car, and he's still going through. Smitty trying to catch up with these guys right now. He's 3.1 seconds behind, and Lord now gets the fastest lap, so that's switching around quite a bit at the moment. Allen is now into the pits, possibly repairing his damaged front wings, and he's going to get into a new set of tires to get back out on track. So definitely going to have a wing change there. So we got a gap of about 1.5 seconds between TFFLR and Loves a Good Lunch, because we know Loves a Good Lunch does have that damage. And we got Smitty getting up behind him right now. That gap is breaking down as we go through. And we got Sternface getting very close to Glove Star down the back. Let's have a look at this battle as it goes through. Marcus getting very close to Rapsy there for... oh, and Bird is out of the race. I'm not sure if we'll be able to have a look at that. Let's have a look here right now. That is Bird's car into the wall there. And he's missing a wheel as well, I think. As we're trying to have a look at that once again, if we can. And that's going to be a virtual safety car. At least not a full-on safety car. At least that's good. Yep, so that is Bird out of this race. Not sure if some contact was involved with that there. We're not going to be sure because we didn't actually catch that on stream here. But yeah, that's Bird unfortunately out. He's going to fall down the order there, and that's going to leave us with 13 drivers into this race here right now. And we're currently on lap 28, just about to get into our halfway point of the race. And we lost 4 drivers so far from our 17 that started. Still, we got 13 drivers to finish, so still going to be a good race going on through to the end. And a bit of a battle between most of our drivers going through still. Some of them trying to catch up each other. And I think we got a pit stop happening from Loves a Good Lunge right now under the VSC. That's going to be over before he gets out here though as well. Glovestar getting a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC, and VSC is over right now. So we're continuing on with the race as we got Sternface getting very close to Glovestar, and I think I had someone losing a bit of front wing there for a second, I'm not sure. So a bit of a close gap between Glovestar, Sternface, and Requaz here right now. Alan trying to get in on that battle as well. So a 4-car battle going on for P7 here at the moment. Let's see how these guys are getting through. We got Alan getting very close to Requaz there for 9th position. We got a bit of contact between Sternface and who was that there? Glovestar, I think. Yep. And we got quite a few position change. Rabsy into the pits right now. And Alan having some trouble getting back started here. Oh, and that was Loves a Good Lunge there, spinning around. So a bit of action on track at the moment. Let's see what our positions are like right now. So Glovestar is now up into 5th position. Sternface is 6th. Requaz in 7th. Alan now running in. Actually, Alan taking over 7th position now, away from Requaz, who's down a position. Alan gets up to 6th position right now. So Alan is up 2 positions, gets up to 6th position behind Glovestar, who's in 5th. Sternface is down in 7th. Requaz running in 8th position right now. He's very close by to Sternface, trying to get by him. And let's see how that battle progresses through right now. He's trying to go side by side with him right now. Gets up into 7th position. Puts Sternface down into 8th. And that's actually going to stick. Alan gets up another position from Glovestar up into 5th position right now. Puts Glovestar down another position there. So he's gained at least 3 positions so far going through here. So he's actually really pushing his way through the field. Let's get back down to Loves a Good Lunge, going side by side with Sternface, trying to get up into 8th, and he does. That puts Sternface down into 9th position there right now. He's got on board with Requaz here in 7th position as he's still running on through. And we got quite a few penalties being handed out at this point in the race there as well, as we're getting straight to our halfway point of the race here right now. So we got another 30 laps to go at least before we finish the Singapore Grand Prix here. We are following on with Loves a Good Lunge as he's getting very close to Requaz for a 6th position here. And Grimmy gets the fastest lap so far. He's currently running in 10th position. And there goes Loves a Good Lunge. Gets by up into 6th position. Puts Requaz down a position here. And that was a very clean overtake done. Gets up a position very easily. Requaz is going to try to chase after him, see if he can get it back, or at least try to keep himself in 7th position. Because, EXO is about 8.5 seconds behind him. So not too much to worry about. We got Grimmy trying to go side by side with Rabsy here for 9th position. And let's see if he's able to get that position up or not. So far, not able to get it up. Still trying to go side by side with him and might take it on the inside. No, actually holds it back into 10 for now. And tries to play it safe, at least for the moment and time being. We got Marcus about 20 seconds behind Lord right now. That's a bit of a gap for 3rd place. And Lord getting the fastest lap so far in the session here. Grimmy trying to look for a gap to go either on the outside or the inside right now, and definitely has to just hold it wherever he has it at the time. And looks like he might be getting up a position here. They're still fighting it out, both him and Ramsey, for a 9th place right now. And looks like we might have Grimmy going up that position. Great overtake for him. That puts Ramsey down a position down into 10th here though. So it's still a bit of a close gap between the two of them as they continue on through. Loves a Good Lunge is trying to save some time and break that gap down he has between himself and Alan there right now. Okay, so still following on with Ramsey right now, losing some time at the moment to Grimmy, who's just gotten by him. So he's going to have to try and keep 10th position at least, with Gloucester now coming about 11 seconds behind him. Actually, he's still pretty close by, just at a proper sector running behind Grimmy here. So let's see if he's actually catching up or not. He might be able to catch her back and break that gap down and really get ahead. Okay, so let's see where we are with our race leaders right now. So race leader is currently TFFLR leading this race. We got Smitty running in second out front. And let's have a look at what's going on out front here actually. So yeah, Smitty running about 2 seconds behind TFFLR, and Lord running in third place. He's about another 2.7 seconds behind. So these guys have just a bit of a gap going between them right now, and I think things will change just a bit again when some of them decide to do another pit stop here. So for now, I think we might have some gaps continuing to build here, but actually Smith is trying to break his gap down right now. He's about 1.92 seconds and really trying to break it down, but I think TFFLR is giving a very difficult time to have that happen. He's trying to keep that gap up and possibly try to increase it as much as he can right now. Continuing through this race, Smitty is still trying to break it down. He's gained about 2/10 so far. Hopefully doesn't lose it. We got Lord losing a bit of time as Smitty is trying to catch up to TFFLR. Marcus is about 21 seconds behind Lord right now, so only way he's going to be catching up is if these guys take a pit stop out front. And he has Allen about another 13 seconds behind. And let's see who else. We got Loves a Good Lunch running in 6th position. He's about 4.7 seconds behind Allen. And then Records with another 7-second time difference behind there. Other than that, we got EXO in 8th running about 3 seconds behind Records, and Grimmy running 6 seconds behind EXO. Ramsey has lost about 3 seconds right now since Grimmy overtook him and got up a position into 9th. And then Gloucester another 12 seconds behind Ramsey. Mini Smoke running in 12th position with about 14-second gap. Stoneface has about 4 seconds gap between himself and Mini Smoke for a 13th position there. And we're still following on with Smitty here right now, as he's gained about 8/10 so far, and he's ready to catch up and break his gap down to TFFL, trying to get in that DRS zone if he can here right now, and hopefully try to get that advantage. And he definitely does seem to be breaking the gap down pretty quickly, as the gap is now down to a second between them. And he just needs to get it under a second just to get through the detection point to try and get DRS off of TFFLR in front of him. And looks like he might be doing that pretty soon. EXO there actually breaking his gap down to a second as well. So these guys looking pretty good right now, both EXO and Smitty, trying to catch up as much as they can to cars in front of them and try to get that DRS advantage. And they're both now under a second, so both of them will now have that DRS advantage and try really to push forward and see if they can get overtake done. Of course, EXO there, he is trying to catch up on his teammate Requaz there right now. And I'm not sure if his teammate is going to allow him to get by. That's going to be based on team orders for the two of them there. Now, who is driving number 1, who is driving number 2, I'm not sure. And we got TFFLR getting another penalty here. So he's definitely feeling the pressure coming off of Smitty right now. See this, that Smitty is under a second behind him and looking to get by now, as we're trying to keep up with that. EXO got about EXO has gotten by his teammate here. I think that probably was an allowed overtake between the two of them. That definitely looks like it was consensual between them. This team just allowed the faster car to go through, I guess. So he's allowed EXO to go ahead and try to catch up with Loves a Good Lunch. And we got a gap of about 0.4 of a second between TFFLR and Smitty here right now. So Smitty really pushing hard, trying to get by. Lord has about 2.2 seconds to catch up to Smitty right now, so he has a bit of work to do on his end to try and catch up. Requires has lost just about a second and a half to his teammate who just went by him up into 7th place, and he's trying to break the 10-second gap down that they have to Loves a Good Lunch there in 6th position. So Smitty right now trying to work with his DRS advantage. and possibly use his overtake if he needs to. I think he'll probably put that on at this point in the race, so we can have a look at how much ERS he actually has saved up to work with. And let's see what TSFR has. And he doesn't have too much as well. He's been using a bit, trying to possibly get away from Smitty, as Smitty has been catching up with him so far in the race. And that is Smitty into the pits right now. Let's see what tires he's going to go on to go to the end of the race here. I think this might be his final pit stop. And looks like he's going on to a fresh set of mediums to push it on through to the end of the race right now. And we got a bit of problem with TFFLR here. What's happened to him? I'm not sure. Lord has taken over the lead of the race, and he's trying to get back going right now. Had a bit of an incident apparently. I'm not sure if he has any damage or not, but he's about 7.7 seconds behind Lord, who has taken over the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix right now and running pretty well out front. So he has a good lead going. Not sure if he has to make another pit stop or not, but TFFLR definitely having some problems here right now. Not sure how old his tires are. Let's have a look at that. So the tires are only 10 laps old. I'm not sure if they're giving up already or not. I don't think they are. Might have just made a bit of a mistake, or I'm not sure if he had any contact with Lord. But Lord got by pretty easily there and got up a position. We got Grimmy and Requaz fighting it out down at the back here, I think. Grimmy might have just gotten by Requaz there for that position. I think our closest gap that we have currently is what Requaz has to Grimmy right now, but he seems to be losing some time, so we're just going to keep an eye on that as it goes through. Smitty seems to be gaining some time on Marcus out front, so let's have a look at what's happening here with him. Does seem to be gaining some time, has the gap under a second already, and he's trying to catch up with him for third position. We got TFFLR into the pits right now, so definitely he probably has some damage. And he's probably going to be going on to a new set of mediums. Maybe we'll have a look at that in a bit. And this has put Marcus now up into second position behind Lord there. And Smitty takes over third position right now, still about a quarter of a second behind Marcus and running. So he's really looking forward to getting up into second place here, Smitty there. And let's see if he's going to be able to get that, as that gap is actually pretty close. Uses his DRS, turns on his overtake, and really trying to catch up as much as he can here right now. But starting to run out of track, getting into that turn, and might actually take it in. And let's see, pushes on through, but not able to get that position up as yet. A really good attempt at that overtake as well, though. Gets some minor contact between the two of them, but unfortunately Marcus holds on to second place for now. I think Smitty might be trying this on another occasion in just a bit. Rabsy gets up a position on EXO since he's in the pits there right now. So this gap is still just under about half a second, and still continuing on through. We're going to see if Marcus is able to hold on to that position there. So Sternface gets up into 11th now. I think EXO is out of the pits and back into 12th position right now. So a bit of a gap between most of our cars as we continue on into the lap 37 of 61 for the Singapore Grand Prix right now. So Marcus has a gap of about 22 seconds between himself and Lord out front. So this means that Lord probably going to have to make another pit stop for these guys to even get anywhere close by to him. And Smitty getting very, very close now to Marcus. Really going to try and get that position up once again. Let's see if he's going to be able to do that. So we're on board with him right now. And a number of penalties for a number of cars out on track right now. But I think Lord might have to take another pit stop. Let's have a look at that right now. So 11 laps done on those tires. So did Marcus there. So we'll see how well that works out for him. So not a lot of overtake to use right now. So he's trying with whatever he has. Really trying to push forward and try to keep the gap under a second. Just to try and keep the DRS advantage alive for the fight for P2 here right now. We get a yellow flag in sectors 2 and 3. Might have a bit of incident, but I think we're good. It seems to be back and over with. That's green again to go with. So DRS section of the track right now with Smitty here trying to keep as close as he can. He's doing a good job of keeping that car under a second behind Marcus right now, but Marcus doing a very good job of keeping him behind, not allowing him to get an overtake done. But he's having a bit of a difficult time right now, trying to build the gap as it is and trying to get by here. Gap out front to Lord with Marcus is about 17 seconds right now. So oh, this gap is actually going on pretty fast. Let's see if Smitty is going to be able to get by on this occasion here. We got X2 and Sternface down in the back. Have a gap of about half a second right now. And Lord is in the pits, which puts Marcus up into P1 right now. That's means Smitty is up into second now and running behind him. So gaps are going to break down just a bit between most cars. Allen now takes about 11 seconds of a gap between himself and Smitty. And there goes Smitty alongside Marcus right now. Tries to go around the outside. Let's see if that's going to get done. Doesn't look like it might. Tries to take back the inside. No, has to stick it in second for now. And yeah, really good attempt at that overtake once again for Smitty there. But unfortunately not enough to push it by and get up into the lead of the race right now. And being that it's a fight for the lead of the race right now, I don't think Marcus is going to give up that lead very easily. He is going to be giving Smitty a very hard time to give away that. And Loves a Good Launch is now in the pits there right now. So is Rabsy. Gap is actually still pretty close between these two. I don't know how much longer this is going to continue on for, but it's definitely going to be going on for a bit more. As Smitty is still trying to keep the gap as close as he can, still trying to get by, but Marcus is making it so difficult for him right now, not giving him any bit of a gap to go on, and he really needs to push a little bit further. And I don't know, he doesn't have a lot of overtake to use, so I don't know if that's being a disadvantage to him, but he does have the DRS advantage, which Marcus does not have, and he's still not able to get up close enough to push by him. Let's see if on lap 39 if he's going to get that advantage here or not. We got Sternface still working a close gap with EXO down in the back there. We'll have a look to see if that battle is going to go anywhere or not. And there goes Smitty trying to go on the outside once again. Has to still hold it there in P2, unfortunately. As Marcus seems to be starting to come into a bit of traffic now with lap cars in front of him. So gap still being about a half a second right now, and we're now going to go down to Lord there, who is currently in P4 and trying to catch up to Allen for P3 right now. Gap is just about half a second as well as it is with Marcus and Smitty out in front for the lead of the race. So we're going to keep an eye on both battles and see how this works on through going through. We got Smitty getting very, very close up front, and Lord getting very close now on this run down here, and still not able to get alongside Allen, unfortunately. So he's still able to hold on to P3 for now. With all of these cars having penalties, it's anyone's game right now for getting a pole position finish here. But we're going to have a look at penalties in just a bit. Before, at least when we get around to lap 45, at least we'll have a look at the penalties to see where they're at and how bad it is going to be for cars with the penalties there. And there goes, oh, he's actually thought about it, but actually didn't want to do that. So he's held back in P2 for quite a while now, and is really getting frustrated trying to get by Marquez here, not getting a really good gap to go with. And we got Lord might be trying to go side by side. Let's have a look at that as well. No, not able to go side by side as yet, and pushes on through as... Oh, and TFFL section, what's happened to his car? Let's try to have a look at that right now. I think he might have retired in the pits there. TFFLR might have retired in the pits for some reason, I'm not sure why. And we got Smitty got by Marquez on that occasion there. So that's quite an overtake done for Smitty, getting that job done after such a number of laps running behind Marquez. So he's finally up into the race, and let's see if he's going to get a gap going. Following on with Lord right now, still trying to get by Allen for P3, and let's see if he's going to be able to get his own. Has that gap so close right now, and not able to find the correct gap to get that overtake with. So he's going to continue on through for that. Means from 9 to 13 we'll be moving up a position each here right now. So we're on lap 40 of 61, so about 21 laps left to go in the race, and that leaves us with about 12 drivers left here now. So it looks like Smitty is actually gaining some time on Marquez right now. Has about a second of a 1.1 second of a gap already. And we're still following on with Lord right now. Still trying to get by Allen for P3. And Lord takes a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits there. Oh, and Rabzi is out of the session as well. That's a virtual safety car. Something's happened to Rabzi's car, I think. Let's have a look. And there it is on track. I think he might have ended up in the wall there. Not sure how that happened or not, but let's see if that's going to trigger a round of pit stops here. And since that happened, we're going to have a look at penalties as they are right now. So penalties as they are, we got Smitty with 3 seconds, Marquez with 3, Allen with 3, Lord with 8, Grimmy with 9. We got Love's Good Lunch with 12 seconds, Lovestar with 3 seconds, Exoder with 9 seconds, and Mini Smoke with 3 seconds of penalties as well. So let's see. We got 11 drivers left in this session right now. Looks like we might end up finishing with just under 10 drivers. I'm not sure how this is going to continue on as yet. But yeah, 11 drivers left in this race so far. And we're going to see if any pit stops are going to happen. But no, unfortunately, no. We're still good to go so far. I think Mini Smoke took a pit stop there. Loves a Good Lunch might have gotten a position on Requaz. And we're back racing again at the end of this virtual safety car. Look like Rabzi's car is off track, so TFFLR retired in the pits. Rabzi ended up in a wall and DNF. So we're continuing on through right now, following with Requaz as he's chasing down Loves a Good Lunch right now. Oh, we got EXO getting very close to Glovestar actually, so let's follow on with that battle as it goes through. And he has his DRS, so I'm trying to use that advantage as much as he can to catch Glovestar for a P8 right now. So still about 20 laps remaining to go here, guys. We're on lap 41 of 61 right now. And looks like EXO might get a good run here, but not able to get close enough to get by Glovestar on this occasion. We got Lord getting very close out front to Allen here. Let's see if that's a battle going on for that position or not. And he's still just behind by about half a second. So it looks like that might be going somewhere pretty soon. Let's keep an eye on these guys as they go through. We're still keeping an eye on EXO and Glovestar down there for the battle between them for 8th position right now. As Lord has gone right up to the rear of Allen's car. Just needs to go by right now. And he's going to have DRS advantage here and definitely looking to go by on the inside. Let's see if he's going to get that done. It's going to be a tight squeeze going through, and looks like he might have gotten that done. Up into, let's see, actually Allen is still fighting it back, and a bit of contact between the two of them. And both of them getting a bit wide of the exit of that turn. Might have been a bit some damage there, I'm not sure. But it was a bit contact between the two of them. Allen takes back P3 there right now. Might have been an illegal overtake, I'm not sure. But Lord back down into P4. And it's going to have to keep that position once again and try to get by on another occasion if he can here. Let's get on board with Lord here right now. We got Grimmy about 16 seconds behind these guys. Allen takes a 3-second penalty for track limits. So that's going to be added to his time there at the end of the race if they don't do another pit stop at this point. And we got Lord trying to go around the outside here. And let's see, looks like he might actually get that done. But Allen might try to come back at him. Let's see if that's going to happen. No, we're going to have to stick it there in 4th for now. Oh, I'm barely breaking in time here. I got EXO getting pretty close down in the back to Glove there as well. We'll have to keep an eye on that battle as it continues on through. Marcus is about 3.8 seconds behind race leader Smitty there right now. Stunface gets another 3-second penalty there. So guys, running on lap 43 right now, going through. Let's see where we're at with this. So 11 drivers currently remain in this session. We got Smitty leading this race. We got Marcus running 3.8 seconds behind him in second. Lord running in third. He's about 12 seconds behind. Alan there another 1.9 seconds behind. And currently our battle we're following right now is with EXO here in 9th. He's trying to get up a position into 8th on Glove Star. About quarter of a second behind the gap is right now. So let's get on board with him and see how close he's actually able to get. Gets a better exit off of a few turns here, but he still needs to get a gap to get by and get alongside him to go by for an overtake. And of course, at the same time, he does need to avoid getting any more penalties as well, as they both have penalties. And he gets right up to the rear of Gloucester, has the DRS advantage, and a bit of a too close contact with him and Gloucester. And let's see if he's able to get by. Pushes on through. Cuts that corner though. I'm not sure if he gets a penalty for that. And has to let Gloucester go by, because that would have been an illegal overtake there. Gloucester does go a bit wide, so a bit of contact between the two of them. That does happen, so we'll see. Gets back in position for now. Let's see if EXO is able to get by on another occasion. Has DRS once again and goes through. And he was about to push on the inside, just not enough of a gap to work with. So that was actually pretty close between the two of them. Lord gets the fastest lap in the race so far. He's about 9.9 seconds behind Marcus running in second there. So let's follow overhead right now with EXO as he's going behind Glovestar once again, and let's see how they come around. So definitely he's going to try to push for an overtake very soon once again to try and get up into 8th position here. So far not too bad with this race as we're getting through. We're about 75% through the race so far here. It's about another 25% to go at least. About 15-16 laps or so I would say to left in the race to go. So I think this is, yes, our closest gap that we have to work with right now. And we're just going to follow through this to see if anyone else is going to break their gap down. And just a bit of a gap between most of our drivers at the moment. And I think this our closest gap is with what we're following right now with Glovestar and EXO here. So G-Man Glovestar trying to keep the 8th position live for the finish. And we're still going to have a look at penalties. Currently Requires is the only car on track that doesn't have a penalty. Hopefully that doesn't change as it gets closer to the end of the race here. Gap is getting way closer again, and let's see using DRS very soon if he's going to get a good go. Has a very good exit off of that turn. I might have tried to go side by side with him. Does go side by side and looks like he might be getting up that position. Let's see if G-Man Gustar comes back at him. I know has to recede back into 9th position here now. So finally EXO gets that overtake done and gets up the position into 8th. And he has about 26 seconds to catch up to Requires, his teammate there, up in 7th position. And we currently have Alan in the pits here right now, so let's see where he is going to get back out on track. And let's have a look at what tires he's about to go on. Might be going on, oh, he goes on to another set of medium tires and gets back out. We had another pit stop from Grimmy here right now. I think he's going on to the mediums as well again to continue on to the end of the race. So obviously the mediums not lasting as long as we originally thought. They do have to switch it off and go to the next set of tires to get to the end of this race. So we got Grimmy getting out on track right now. Alan is out on track and he is just under a second behind. Loves a good lunge. So another battle on for it again. And he's going to get DRS advantage. And let's see if that's going to go anywhere for him. So definitely pushing very hard on these fresh tires. And looks like he might have a better go here. And let's see, Loves a good lunge is under some serious pressure right now, about to lose 4th place if he's not careful. Alan coming behind him. Grimmy getting up a position on Requires on that exit on the pits there. And that's a very close gap between the two of them, actually. So let's see if Rayquaza is able to keep up with Grimmy on this fresh tire. It doesn't look like he is, as he's already losing some time to Grimmy here. Has a bit of ERS to use for overtake, but not using that right now. And we're going to get back to our battle with Allen and Loves a Good Lunch out here for 4th position. Our battle is. We got Marcus getting into the pits here right now as well. Let's see what tires he's about to go on. Getting back to Allen here. I want to see if he's lost a position there. Oh, sorry, he's trying to gain that position. Sorry, he hasn't lost this yet. Mini Smoke with another 3-second penalty there. So Allen working pretty hard and trying to break this gap down as much as he can right now. So far, so good for him. He's trying to keep that gap under a second between him and Loves a Good Lunge and going. So with our grid as it is right now, Smitty still continues to lead this race. He has about a 12-second gap between himself and Lord running in second. And Lord's teammate Marcus here in third, about 22 seconds behind. Loves a Good Lunge in fourth. Allen running in fifth, just a half a second behind. Trying to get up a position right now, but having a bit of a difficult time. He's trying to keep the fight alive, though, trying to keep the gap under half a second at this point in the race. So that gap is actually being kept a bit constant going towards on lap 47 right now. We're going to approach a very close end part of this race here very soon. Currently about 13 to 14 laps left in the session, so not a lot of laps left now comparing to 100% race, that is we got to say. Very few laps left in the race, and I think everyone's raced pretty well so far. Unfortunate that we had a number of drivers out, about 6 drivers out of this session so far. And only 11 drivers left in. We started with 17, we're down to 11. Hopefully all 11 drivers are able to finish into the pits right now, serving a penalty, and now getting on to a fresh set of medium tires to get back out. This is going to put him down a few positions because he's getting a wing change as well. So currently we still got Smitty leading the race. I'm not sure if he's going to take another pit stop or not. We got Marcus running in second, but Smitty has quite a big gap. He can definitely take a pit stop and still take over back the lead of the race there. Loves a Good Lunch is now in third, with Allen running just under a second behind him. So Allen trying to keep that fight for P3 alive as much as he can. And he's still pushing to try and get his overtake done since he came out to the pit on fresh tires. Let's see how that's going to continue on through. We got Grimmy now just behind Lord after his pit stop there. And yeah, 1.4 second that gap is, so that might be something to keep an eye on as well. And it looks like Rayquaza has done 22 laps on these medium tires so far. G-Man Glovestar has done 21 laps, 16 laps on those hards for Sternface, 12 laps on the mediums for Smitty, so he definitely might be able to push to the end of the race on his tires. I'm not sure though, with the amount of gap that he has, I think he can take the chance of taking a pit stop. And let's have a look at what's happening with Allen and Loves a Good Lunch here. Looks like Allen might be trying to go side by side with him, but really not getting that opportunity as yet. I think Sternface and Cleveland Glovestar just switched positions there, down for 9th and 10th. And so far so good for this fight for P3. We still got Allen struggling a bit, trying to keep up with Loves to Go Down, but actually doing a pretty good job, I would say, because he's still just about half a second behind. Smitty there still has an incredible gap to work with. I'm not sure if he's going to do another pit stop or not. Maybe to go on to softs to go to the end of the race, and but that's going to decrease the gap between him and Marcus. I'm not sure if he wants to take the chance or if he's just going to push on these tires to go to the end with them. Oh, it has just maybe just about 12 and a half laps left in this race here right now. And we're still following on with Allen and Loves a Good Lunch. because Alan is doing an incredible job of keeping his gap under half a second. Loves a good launch, having a very difficult time to increase that gap. So just about the same pace both of them have. Of course, one of them is on fresher tires. And I think that is Alan there. Yep, but Loves a good launch. His tires are not that old, so I'm quite confident he can continue on with them. He doesn't have to take a pit stop. So even though Alan is on the fresher tires, having a very difficult time to keep up with Loves a good launch there right now. Let's have a look at penalties here as they are. So penalties, Loves a good launch actually has 15 seconds of penalties to deal with, so does EXO there. So that's going to push him quite a few positions down when we do finish. So I assume he's just trying to finish in the highest possible position across the line, but he knows he's going to be losing out positions there because of the penalties that he does have. Alan getting another 3-second penalty now, so that's going to be about 6 seconds of penalties for him. But still going to be able to get up a position on Love a good launch here when we do finish this race, because on lap 49 and running right now, and now that's Lord with the fastest lap there. He's on fresh tires running in P5. And Prix still the only car on track that does not have a penalty, so we're still going to keep an eye to see if he's going to finish this race with absolutely no penalties. That equals more points at the end if you can actually keep it that way. And he's currently into the pits getting a change of tires right now. And we still are following on with this battle between these two guys here. Loves a good launch and Alan still trying to fight it out for P3. Of course, it's just going to be about getting across the line in P3 right now, because Loves a good launch does have about 15 seconds of penalty, so he's going to lose that position either way. And let's see if Alan is able to get by. Not as yet, actually. He's still holding on here in P4 and going through. Oh, and Prix gets a 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane exit. Oh, man, and that's going to ruin it for him for getting the extra points there. So every driver in the race now has penalties. Unfortunate for that happening. Got some action going on. Loves a good launch, and Alan's still here, as we're still trying to follow these two getting around. Alan has been chasing down Loves a good launch since he came out after his pit stop and having a very difficult time to get by here right now. And Loves a good launch having a difficult time trying to keep the gap over half a second even here right now. So Alan is driving pretty well, I gotta say, keeping this close to that car, and but unfortunately not able to get by. We got about 10.5 laps left in the race, or 10.5 laps actually. And we got Alan going side by side with him, and trying to get by here right now. Looks like he might be able to do it, but Loves a good launch is coming back at him. They're still going side by side. And let's see who has the inside here. A bit of contact, I think, between the two of them, but they're all still going on through. So Loves a good launch holds on to P3 for now at least. Alan's still very, very close and still trying to get by. It goes alongside him once again, having that DRS. Let's see if that advantage is going to do it on this occasion. And Loves a good launch has some great straight line speed and is able to actually keep up and keep Alan there behind. A bit of contact again between them. And that's Alan up into P3. Finally gets up a position on Loves a good launch after quite a number of laps running behind there in P4. So great job, great overtake from him to get up that position, and it was actually a great job from Loves a good launch to keep him behind for that amount of laps there. Loves a good launch is actually still trying to keep up with Alan here right now, trying to keep his gap about half a second. So let's see how that's working out for him. If he's actually able to do that, he's trying to use the DRS advantage that he now is going to have. I'm trying to keep up with Alan and trying to get the position back if he can. So far so good from Alan there, actually keeping that position up. And let's go down to Prix here. who is just about half a second behind Sternface right now and trying to fight that out for P8 at the moment. Our race leader Smitty there is still leading this race and he's about 27.7 seconds ahead of Marcuse, who's running in second. And Allen now runs in third, about 12.9 seconds behind Marcuse. Let's see if he's going to break that gap down and try to put the battle on for Marcuse for P2, because we still got about 10 laps left in this race right now. Loves a good lunge, has his gap about just under a second, but I think he's still losing some time to Allen there. He's trying to keep up as much as he can, but we got Sternface and Requaz going side by side a bit here, and Sternface still holds on to P8 so far, and Requaz is trying to take it away right now. Let's see if he gets up that position. Looks like he's gotten it up into P8. He goes behind his teammate Exo there, about 16 seconds that gap is, and puts Sternface down into P9. So that Sternface is down one position. He's going to try and keep up as much as he can, but already getting that gap is already about to go over a second, so he's going to lose the DRS advantage once that happens. So not going to be able to catch up back, and that gap already is over 1 second. Lord, it's a matter of fact, now getting the fastest lap there in P5. He's about 9.2 seconds behind Loves a Good Lunge. Let's see if he's going to be able to catch up in either way or not. And we got Requaz now trying to catch up with his teammate, who is currently in 7th position. About 15 seconds that gap is. Let's see if he's going to break down in the next few laps time or not. Going back to Loves a Good Lunge and Allen here. We got Mini Smoke back into the pits there right now. So on lap 52 of 61 here for the Singapore Grand Prix right now with TNRC. And yeah, it's been a great race so far. We've had about 2 or 3 safety cars. How many safety cars we had? I think we had like 2 safety cars. I can't remember if it was 3 or not, or that was just another VST. We had a few VSTs, a lot of yellow flags, and quite a bit of incidents in this race. Unfortunate that we had 6 drivers falling out of it. So still just 11 drivers left to finish. Hopefully all 11 drivers are able to finish this race. I'm counting on that happening. Mini Smoke driving pretty well along in the back there. He's about a minute away behind a G-Man Glove Star, but still doing pretty well. And we got, what happened here? Grimmy has gotten up a position on Lord, I think. I'm not sure, maybe he made a bit of a mistake and cost him a position there. So Grimmy is now up into P5, and he's taking advantage of that gap and trying to build it over a second. 1.7 seconds it is right now, and continuing on with that. Getting back out here to Allen, and Loves a Good Lunge. Loves a Good Lunge is about a second just behind Allen right now, who's currently in P3 running. So a bit of a gap between majority of our cars, I would say, right now, especially with our race leaders there. Smitty running about 25 seconds in front of Marcuse. Marcuse running 13 seconds in front of Allen, and Allen running just about a second and 3/10 just in front of Loves a Good Lunge. So top 3 cars looking to finish on the podium, because I think with the penalties even that they have, they will be finishing right there. So we're going to have a look at that here right now. So those are tires as they are right now. Sternface on 21 laps with those hard tires. So those are going to start to go in a bit. So yeah, we have a 3-second penalty for both Smitty and Marcuse, P1, P2. So they will be finishing right there as things continues as they are. We got Allen currently in P3, has only about 9 seconds of penalty, so we'll be able to finish right there. And Loves a Good Lunge, about 15 seconds of penalties, and Grimmy with 9 seconds. So Grimmy really needs to close up and as quick as he can here right now. And Lord has fallen down another position here on EXO. He is now down to 7th position. EXO has got another position to 6 there. So not sure what's happening with him. Seems to be having not too good of a race at the moment here. He's trying to catch back up to EXO if he can. We'll see how that works out for him. Actually, I think he did a pit stop, which is why that happened. He's on fresh soft tires right now. So my bad, I actually didn't see that happened. He actually took a pit stop there. That's why EXO went past. So that explains a lot. My bad on that. Alright, so let's continue on through here right now. Where is our closer gap? We got Mini Smoke back into the pits once again, or is that just a mistake? No, I think he just got out of the pits there. So yeah, that's actually not a mistake. So going back on with Loves a Good Lunge right now. His gap is about 2 seconds between himself and Allen, currently running in P3. Still trying to keep up as much as he can right now. Okay, guys, we're still following on with Lovesicle Dunn to see if he's able to break that gap down to Allen there. Of course, that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon here, because that gap is going. It seems to have increased by at least 2 tenths so far since we came onto it. So that's probably going to continue to the end of the race. We got about 7 laps remaining, 6 laps remaining now. And then that's going to be it for this race. So overall, I think it was a great qualifying session that we have for that 18 minutes. There were some very, very competitive lap times for that session. The race, unfortunately, started off as a wet race. If you're not joining us, we did have a very wet start to the race. Everyone started on the full-on wet tires, and I was going through then about just before we got to the halfway point of the race, we started to switch on to intermediate tires, and then it started to dry off just after that. So second half of our race was mostly dry, I would say, getting through. So some faster race pace time, and we got DRS back online for that. And yeah, it was really helpful for a lot of drivers. Of course, race strategy was a bit off for some drivers, so trying to decide when to get on to the next set of tires or not. But yeah, everyone's still running so far. We got 11 drivers still to finish this race, and I think it's been going pretty well so far. I think Love's a good launch, getting to a bit of traffic. I think that's Mini Smoke down at the back. So let's see who we can follow with here right now. We got Lord right now running in 7th position, and his gap to EXO in front in 6th is just under a second. Trying to get it to about half a second right now and go on through. Okay, sorry about that. I just went off for just a second. So it looks like Lord has gotten past there with EXO there. So that puts EXO down to 7. And he seems to already be gaining some time, getting away and building a gap between himself and EXO there. They're in 7th now. So quite a lot has changed in this race so far since we started coming down to this point. And we're going to see how we finish. So it looks like Smitty might be finishing on pole. Marcus might be finishing 2nd. And Alan looks like he's getting 3rd position there, because he's looking pretty good for that. And it looks like Love's a good launch might be losing quite a few positions, because he does have a lot of penalties to work with. Grimmy, on the other hand, has a few penalties as well. So we'll see how the penalties play out when we do get to the end of the race. And we got Glovestar currently into the pits there right now. And and that's another penalty for Love's a good launch. And remember, guys, too many penalties does equal a race disqualification. So these guys are going to have to be very careful getting these penalties here right now. Okay, so continuing on through to the end of the race here right now. We're on lap 58 and running through just about the end of this race here in about 3 laps time. As we still have Smitty leading the race, Marcus still running in second, and Alan still running in third. It's been a really good race coming through. The drivers have performed very well, I gotta say, getting to this point in the race and actually able to make it through a 100% race. So still just a bit way more to go. Not too far, actually, just about 2 to 3 laps, and we'll be down to the end of the session there. But we'll see how penalties do affect the finishing positions of all of our drivers here, because that is going to affect it just a bit. I think just for a few drivers, they're going to be losing a few positions, a few drivers will be gaining positions. All depends on how much penalties they all actually have as we get closer and closer to the end of the session here right now. Hopefully they don't acquire any more new penalties as they continue on through. But we'll see how that works out as we go on here now. We'll see if anybody else is going to get any more penalties or not. So far, so good from drivers here. Let's get down to Exo, who's still trying to chase back down Lord, but unfortunately losing time to him right now. A gap is about 4.5 seconds as we continue on through here right now. And let's follow on back out front here and see where we have Smitty on track right now. I think he's in sector 3. He's about to enter into lap 59 here. That will officially leaves up with about 3 laps to go here. So there he goes, enters into lap 59 and goes through. And we got Request currently into the pits. Let's see what's happening with him there right now. I think he just exited the pits now. He's getting into the pits and getting back out right now. He's going onto the soft tires to go to the end of the race. So I think he's definitely trying to get the fastest lap possibly here. And Grimmy just got another penalty there right now. So that's going to hurt his race a little bit there too. We're going to be turning on the penalties in around lap 60 time to have a look on how that's going to be playing out. We got Request back out on track. Let's see where he goes right now. So he comes out back in 9th place and has a bit of a gap to Sternface out in front of him. About 17 seconds, 16 seconds, 17 seconds that gap is. And he's going to try and catch up as much as he can. Let's see how fast he's going to break that gap down as we go on over to Love's a Good Lunch here. Still chasing down behind Allen right now and not able to actually break that gap down as far as we can see right now. So he's still going to continue with that and go through here at the moment. Honestly, look from that angle as if Love's a Good Lunch was about to hit the wall there. So weird camera angle, not able to actually see the front of the car. Yeah, so far so good, guys. I think it's been quite an exciting race. We're on lap 60 right now going. So let's get back on the overhead view. We're probably going to turn penalties on because Smitty is currently on lap 60 and going. I think the rest of the grid is now about to enter into that lap. So position changes as they are. It looks like we have Sternface gain 6 positions and Mini Smoke there, he gained 6 positions as well. So if that continues on through, we'll have to see how they finish though, because this is all going to be dependent on how penalties play out as well. It looks like Request still doesn't have a penalty though. Let's have a look at that right now. So no, he served whatever penalty he had before, I think, because he did catch a 5-second penalty. I think he served that. And yeah, he's clear of penalties at the moment to go through. So that's going to help him out because let's have a look at what penalties are like here right now. So currently we have Smitty. He's going to be able to finish with a pole position finish because he has only about 6 seconds of penalties and has Marcus about 15 seconds behind him. Marcus has about 3 seconds of penalties with Allen's 18 seconds behind. So he'll be able to finish here in second. We got Allen in third with about 9 seconds of penalties. And has Love a Good Lunch behind him with 18 seconds of penalty. So he'll be able to finish P3. Looks like Love's a Good Lunch will be finishing P4 because we have Grimmy behind him. But Grimmy has about 12 seconds of penalties. And depending on what the gap is, I don't think he's going to be able to get up into 4th position with that as it is there right now. And then Lord in 6th, he has about 3 seconds of penalties, but has a big gap of 39 seconds to work with behind Grimmy. Then EXO there another 5 seconds behind, has 15 seconds of penalties. He is gonna be finishing right there. Then Sternface has 3 seconds of penalties, 30 seconds gap, so he'll be finishing right there in 8 as well. And Requaz has about a 10-second gap to Sternface out front. So if he's able to break that down within the next half a lap or so, he'll probably get up another position, but unfortunately I don't think he will. And G-Man Glovestar there in 10th position has 3 seconds of penalties, 33 seconds behind. Mini Smoke over a minute behind Glovestar with 9 seconds of penalties. So it looks like almost everyone is going to finish right where they are right now. So we're going to leave penalties on and go on to Smitty here, who is currently on the final lap of the Singapore Grand Prix here for TNRC, round 4 or 15. So yeah, he's led this race for quite a number of laps from the second half of the race coming down to this point, and has maintained quite a big gap between himself and Marcus there in second. And we're going to continue on watching him through as he finishes this lap, currently running in sector 2. And where did he start? Let's have a look at what position he started in actually. So position change. He started 3 positions down and is up leading this race right now. So really good job from him so far. We'll have a look on how everything finishes when we get to the end and see who's going to be getting this driver of the day here. But I'm not sure who that's going to be. Definitely depending on what position changes we do have. We'll have a look. And that's Mini Smoke getting another penalty there now. Of course, it doesn't really matter. He's going to be finishing down there in 11th position. Okay, so that is, let's see, time is running out. We got Smitty coming around to finish this race here right now. And goes across the line on pole position. That's pole position for Smitty. We got Marcus coming around for a second right now. So we got a bit of a gap between most of our cars. So we're going to have to wait for them to get through and get across the line here. So that is Marcus taking second place. We got Alan coming around for third. And let's see where he's going to go. I think a few cars in the down in the back are in between as well, so they'll be getting through a bit early on. Sternface already across the line. And that is Alan going across for P3. We got Loves a Good Lunch coming across right now for P4. Does hold on to that for now. Let's see. Grimmy coming across for P5. Let's see if he keeps that position or loses it there now or not. Has 12 seconds of penalties and a 10-second gap, and will finish right there in P5. Lord coming around has 3 seconds of penalties, 39 seconds gap. He definitely will be finishing right here in P6. Most of our other drivers are finished already. So Mini Smoke finishing in 11. Looks like Sternface finishing 8. Request finishing in 9. We should have Glovestar finishing there right there in 10th. He does. And we just are waiting for Lord and EXO to go across the line right now. I think they're just behind each other coming around, so they'll be finishing here pretty shortly. Alright, so that is Lord going across the line for 6, and we got EXO coming across the line for P7 right now. And that's it for the Singapore Grand Prix, guys. We're just going to go through the results one more time. Let's see who got driver of the day on this one. And driver of the day goes to Sternface, so excellent for him to get that. Congratulations to him. And congratulations to Smitty for the race here. Alright, so let's get through our results one more time, and then that's going to be it here, guys. Alright, guys, so Smitty takes pole position. Lord of Cross takes fastest lap. We got Marcus finishing in second. Alan finishes third. Loves a Good Lunch in fourth. Grimmy in fifth. Lord in sixth. EXO 7th. Sternface driver of the day and finishes in 8th. Request in 9th. Glovestar 10th. Mini Smoke 11th. TFFLR 12th. Brabsy 13th. Bird in 14th. Diesel 15th. Briefing Cow 16th. And Dave there in 17th. That is it there, guys, for the Singapore Grand Prix. We'll see you guys again on this channel for the next race for S1R4, and then next week for round 5 with TNRC again.